I'm live. Ugh. I'm like totally live. Totally. Unique land. I wanna sit way down inside. Give you, I wanna give you my love. Love. All right. Okay. Hey, hello, friend. I haven't even started my TikTok live yet. Trying to do them both at the same time. It's always fun messing around with this stuff. Not really, by the way, total sarcasm. Not always fun because I don't know what I'm doing. Still don't know what I just did. All right, I'm live. Boom. I'm live everywhere. Like wicked live. Only a minute or two late. You gotta get over it. Didn't realize you had such a lux. I can't read that. Such a low or lux voice. I have no idea what that means. Yep, this is my voice. Crazy as it may sound, totally voicing right now. Let's see if these chats actually work. And I'm live. Hello. I don't know if no sound detected. What is that about? What? Hold on. Can you guys hear me or not? Say hello if you can hear me. Okay. Phew. Okay. It's like my computer's like, there's no sound detected. I'm like, great. Just fabulous. Just amazing. Just so cool. I don't know what's happening right now, but it sounds like something cool. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, wow, a lot of chat. Now there's a lot of people in here now. Hey, how's it going? What? Oh, I hate people that spam. What's this? Oh, you're gonna make me ban you forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Don't make me ban you forever and ever. Don't be the person that's gonna make me ban you. Oh, you're gonna make me ban you forever and ever and ever. I'm just gonna delete it, yo. Why would you spam the chat? I don't get it. Does that make you feel good, dude? Oh man, writing books. Ban from page. You know what? I'm just gonna delete it. I'm gonna give you a little suspension for a little bit because you're spamming. Keep fighting the good fight. Thanks, man. Sweet, sweet, sweet. No more spam. This is good. Man, that spam just like stays there. How's everybody doing today? Oh, God, I hate people that do that. Very selfish of you to post that in my page. I don't even know what it is. I just see just a giant wall of like copy. And don't do that. Be better than that, dude. Be better than that. I know you think you're cool or you needed to get your message across, but not really. You didn't need to spam. And I get it. A lot of that stuff I believe in over there. But you know, don't spam, bro. Like, don't be the guy that wears a shirt of the band they're going to see to the concert. Don't be that guy. I could use a mod. Usually someone pops in and wants to be mod. But I don't really know, dude. I don't know what I'm doing over here. I don't know about moderating and stuff. Yeah, pop in. Sure, Rosie. Rosie the Riveter. Let's see here. I don't know how to make you a mod. Gotta be a button here somewhere. Hey, fan club member. Woo! Let's see here. I don't know how to make you a mod. If I did, you'd be a mod already. Yeah, I know. I have to click on your name and stuff. There we go. You are now, yes. Go ahead, mod it up. I have anointed you El Moderino. Thank you for moderating my chat. All right. Oh, fan club member, what's up? So, here I am. You guys want to chat? Going live. See, I'm not AI. No, I'm not related to David Duchovny. That guy is way cooler than I am, like by 1,000 times. Keep it up, Ecuador. Woo! What's up? Love it. Where are you that it's Friday? I don't know. Does it say Friday? Does it say Friday in my chat? That's hilarious. It just kicks on, dude. I can't change that. I think it was probably a default setting in my before I went live, and it just stayed. My bad. Oh yeah, it does say Friday evening chat. Here it is. It's not what I wrote. It's hilarious. I'll change it again. Let me see if I can change it in this thing. Little Charlie Kirk for you guys. Prove me wrong. Sorry. Prove me wrong. What is today? Saturday? Saturday afternoon. Saturday afternoon chat. We're just hanging out, having a Saturday afternoon chat. I think it updated. Let's see if it works. Updating settings. Ah, sweet. I think it worked. Let's take a look. Let me confirm. Oh, I believe it. Living in Florida, I struggle to keep my mouth shut. Oh, trust me. Oh, the ignorance of this country is crazy to me. I love the United States, but man, we really are backsliding into, you know, I saw a video today about comparing, it's like how much MAGA pushes back on comparing the United States to early Germany in the 30s. And it's like, dude, it's a very apt comparison. Thanks. It's good to see you too, Lee. Yeah, I think they are too, because it's not affecting them. But you know what? It's funny. Like, I hate to say how selfish people are, but people are like insanely selfish and they only care about stuff when it affects them. And it's a little disappointing. Yes, it worked. The update worked. Confirmed. It's fixed. Thanks for telling me it said Friday. All right, so now I can see both chats at once. This is crazy. Look at me go. All right, you're so right. Yeah, it's unfortunate. And like people in the South, like they think it's some kind of badge of honor to be dumb. I used to live in a town long time ago, obviously when I was a kid. like 100 years ago, 103 years ago. And they used to, I went to a bunch of different high schools when I was a kid. So like obviously not great and also pretty great because you got to be the new kid. Like at least I got to be the new kid at least 3 times. But the first high school I went to, they like made fun of you for being smart. Like literally picked on you, bullied you like crazy. If you were smart and got good grades, you were done for. And the second 2 schools I went to were like, no, if you're not smart, we don't like you. Those are my kind of schools. Those are my kind of schools. And when you get picked on for just being intelligent, it's just, think how crazy that sounds. Like, oh, you're smart, let's beat them up. But it's like the reference point of like every 80s and 90s movie. Oh, look, a smart kid, let's go beat him up. Even Good Will Hunting. Let's go beat up some smart kids, they say in like in the beginning of the movie. And it's like, yeah, let's go mess them up. It's like, dude, it is like part of culture that smart is not really celebrated in the United States, surprisingly enough. I'm a big fan of you for being a big fan of my videos. And that's so cool that you're in New Zealand. I've never been to New Zealand. I've always wanted to go. I think it's really cool. Nothing but good people that live in New Zealand. I've never met a bad person that's from New Zealand. What's in Connecticut? No, I didn't only go to school in Connecticut. There was also, I went to school in Massachusetts. Real hard knock life. But it was pretty rough. I have to admit, the first high school I went to was pretty rough. I thought. I could tell you stories, but I'm not going to tell you stories. Not yet. I don't really know you guys. You're all new. Hello from New Brunswick, Canada. Sweet. I love Canadians, although I'm getting a lot of Canadians. Strangely, I'm getting a lot of Canadians that are like Canadian Trump supporters. I didn't even know this existed. There's like Canadian Trump supporters like commenting, and I look at their profile and I'm like, why are you commenting on my Facebook page and you're from Canada? Yeah. Yep. Okay. MAGA is the lower half of the bell shade. Yes, it is. It is. Here's the thing. MAGA was probably people being MAGA back in the day when you can actually probably get a blue collar kind of job back in the day where, you know what I mean? Like you could just do, there was milkmen and stuff where they got paid enough to like buy a house because the houses were like 40 grand and you could like buy a house tomorrow and like anybody could just get a house. Nowadays, they're like 500 grand or more, or even $1 million in some areas. Maybe somehow these people thought they didn't need an education back then. Like, right? College was like a lot more. I don't know if people went to college as often back in like the 50s and 60s. I honestly don't know those statistics off the top of my head. Hey, from Connecticut. Sweet. Got a lot of Connecticut people here. Big fan. I'm from Mystic, so the Mystic area of Connecticut, originally. Deep South. The Deep South. Where are you from? The Deep South. You guys ever see that movie, Little Nicky? New Orleans. Oh, man, New Orleans. I'm a fan of New Orleans, man. I've been there. I've only been there once, but I was there for a wedding, and I was standing at this bar with my friend who's getting married, and it was like quiet. It was like nobody on the street, just nobody at all. And it was like in an alley almost, it felt like. And I'm like, oh, this is weird. There's nobody here. And it was like maybe 4 or 5 p.m. in the summer. So it was like getting a little, the sun was going behind the buildings. It wasn't that. Yeah, I've been to Mystic Pizza 1,000 times, trust me. Yes. I like that pizza. Although I've learned to like other pizza better. But I was in New Orleans, and then all of a sudden I literally was nobody on the street. And then I turned to my right, an empty street. And then all of a sudden I turned to my right, and there was like a crowd of people walking up to me slowly, walking towards me, all dressed in El Dia de Muerte clothes and like makeup and stuff. And I was like, what am I seeing here? No sound. They weren't talking to each other. They were just like slowly walking up to me in I'm talking a giant procession of people. And I'm like, are you guys seeing this? So it was really cool. I really like New Orleans because the culture there is so cool, man. So cool. Such a cool collection of like people. I had no idea. Yeah, New Orleans story for sure is crazy. Happy Saturday. Yeah, from Minnesota. What's up, Minnesota? I was born in Minnesota, just so you guys know. I'm from actually, a lot of my family lives in Minnesota still. But I grew up on the East Coast most of my life. And then I've been out in California for like 20 years. Hello from New Hampshire. Look at this. We have like a coalition over here. In Georgia, Jasper County, Trump's hate is their hate. They worship Trump. Yes, they do. They see themselves in Trump. They are Trump. I watched a video the other day where these guys were literally also calling them daddy. Like there's like a rap song of these like really big, these large hillbilly dudes, very overweight hillbilly dudes. No offense to overweight people, but just guys that are just huge. And they're like singing some kind of like daddy Trump song. And I was just like, holy cow, like you can't be any clearer. The psychology, you see it as you research it and you understand it. And I see it in real life, but then when you see it on like a larger scale, you're just like, holy cow, like this is so real. It's just, it's not a cliche. It's like for real, like a thing. Detroit, sweet. San Diego-ish, North County, sweet. I love San Diego. I almost moved to San Diego recently. Leftists have an unhealthy obsession for Trump. What a surprise to have a MAGA in the chat. You know, here's the unhealthy obsession. I'm going to give you the unhealthy obsession. Here's why we're obsessed, is that we don't want, thank you, Rosie, for blocking him, but we don't want like a fascist like dictator. And I know you guys do. Thanks for the fan club. Yay. We don't want a dictator. And I know you guys want a daddy. I know you want someone to punish your enemies. I know if someone disagrees with you, it hurts you so much. You're so hurt because in their family, when they were kids, when they disagreed, they were like the golden children. They went along with daddy, and they loved seeing their siblings or other people get punished while they followed the rules. So I think that's fascinating. And most of these like people who are especially on my Facebook, where I'm looking at boomers comment right now, a few boomers. It's interesting that I'm not saying boomers in general. I'm just saying some boomers are older people in their 70s, which, by the way, I'm a huge fan of older people. I respect my elders to a very great degree, unless you start saying hateful, horrible things, and then you lose that respect. But the Facebook is the worst. This is the place where you find everybody who thinks they're like Clint Eastwood, who thinks they're like some warrior from the Middle Ages, like saving democracy. And they're literally doing the exact opposite. I don't know how they could be so oblivious to like how dumb they are, and how Germany, like everybody in other countries, and specifically Germany, is like, hey guys, you are literally following our playbook. You're doing what we did in the late 20s and early 30s. Why are you not paying attention? Well, it's because they didn't learn anything. They are on the winning side for right now. Until they start getting hurt, they don't care. Yeah, Facebook is the worst with fake pages, like insanely. There are so many Facebook pages that spew out. They call themselves news, and they're all not news. They're all just like fake stuff that people follow. Yes, it's a fantasy. It's a mythic past, and they think they're warriors from this mythic past, and they're defending things. It's crazy. I don't know if I've ever been to White Bear Lake, Minnesota. I don't think so. But we have a family cabin in northern Minnesota, just outside of Grand Rapids. I think it's called Sand Lake. My grandfather owned like half of it. But I mean, there's like 1,000 lakes or 10,000 lakes. So it's not like he owned like the property around it and then I think leased it out or something like that. But yeah, we have a cabin up there. I haven't been there in like a long, long time though. 15 years maybe. So I know Minnesota pretty well, but I do not know it that well at the same time. I know it's cold there in the winter, and I am a fan of heat. I live less. Okay, cool, man. That White Bear Lake sounds cool, man. I just like the name of it. What kind of fish you got in there? Like northern pike and crappies and, you know, what is it called? What are those fish that have the problem with seeing that? Oh, walleye. Thank you. Walleye. Probably some good walleye fishing. I'm a big fan of fishing, but I don't know if I can handle it today. I don't want to make you look bad by fishing against you. You know what I mean? I don't know if you'd like that. I moved to Arizona and there's a lot of MAGA people there. Yeah, there is. Oh, nice. Big island of Hawaii. What's up? Minnesota girly here. What's up? Yeah, Minnesota is a great place, only in the summertime. I had a shirt so I got when I was a kid, and I was really proud of the shirt, but it said like Minnesota Welcoming Committee. It had like two mosquitoes, giant mosquitoes carrying somebody off. The mosquitoes are insane in Minnesota. There are no mosquitoes where I live in California. 0 mosquitoes. It is really nice. I don't even remember what it's like until I go back east to visit, and all of a sudden I get attacked by mosquitoes. And I'm like, wow, this sucks. Nice. Largemouth bass, rock bass. Yep. Yeah, I caught a few northern pike myself in my lifetime. I actually have some pretty good pictures. I'll send them. I'll put them on. Wish I could just put them on TikTok, but TikTok really hurts you for sending stuff. South Florida, what's up? I make anti-MAGA shirts. May I send you one? You did not. I mean, I'd love one, but at the same time, I actually don't really want to give people my address. Maybe I should just get a PO box, and you guys can send stuff there. 0 in Reno. Nice. I don't think I've ever been to Reno, Nevada. I've been to Vegas a million times. Yep. Georgia mosquitoes. I believe it. Driving across the country, 10,000 Lakes area was impressive. Yep. I've done that a few times as well. Come to Louisiana. I don't know what's worse, the mosquitoes or the MAGAs. No, MAGAs 100%. People who are un-American I'll take a mosquito over an un-American American any day. Very liberal. Arizona was very liberal 40 years ago. Big unions then passed right to work. Yeah. I believe it. Love your videos. Already had. Thank you very much. Encounter with a malignant narcissist and your videos are spot on. Yeah. I grew up in a narcissistic system, so I know it like really well. It's really mind numbing to like live and be around narcissistic people. And at the same time, it makes you immune to narcissistic people. And then you get this, you're able to see narcissism pretty fast. Yeah, thank you. The malignant narcissist video was powerful. Wait till you see my next video. Oh, hopefully you guys will like it. But doing 3 big, longer videos. I'm working on the scripts right now. I already have them all done. But yeah, there's one that's about Trump and like how his father, how he grew up in a very toxic, narcissistic system as well. Yeah, they do. Narcissists, people love empaths like Tiddly. Are you kidding me? Oh my God. Holy cow. Yes, they do. I say holy cow a lot. You're going to have to get over that. Did you see the letter sent by over 30 doctors? Yes, I did. There was also a letter sent in 2017 by 27. They wrote a book together, these 27 doctors. And, all these people wrote a book about how The Dangerous Case of Donald Trump. And they published it, even against their own like professionalism. They knew what they were doing, and they had to like set aside their professionalism to do this, like put their life and jobs and family on the line, because, you know, back then there was violence as well. And they published a book about this. 27 professionals did. And it was just crazy that we just don't care. Nobody cares. And I think the first Republican, or the group of Republicans that will stand up to him and just shut this whole thing down, will be like I think they would be like celebrated. So I don't know why nobody's just getting a coalition of people that will go against him, because let's be honest, I mean, he's not aging like backwards like Benjamin Button here. So, you know, he's getting old, he's getting a lot older, getting a lot crazier. And I don't think it's a good idea to bet the farm on this crazy cat. Yeah, I saw the 30 doctors message also. But there's even, like I said, there was even one in 2017. They did the same thing. It's crazy how nobody listens. Everybody thought he was gone after January 6th. And look what we got. Oh, nice. Carrie, thank you. Every time people tell me they don't understand what's happening, I send them your videos. Thank you. That means a lot. You guys sharing my content is everything to me. Like, I unbelievably appreciate it. I do not take it lightly. It's very important to me. I very much appreciate it. Without you guys, I wouldn't be doing this content. I wouldn't be doing anything like this. I'd just be, you know, fighting the good fight in a different way. But you folks help me out with this big time. Letting him run after J6 is crazy. I completely agree. I can't believe we didn't stop that, especially after the Supreme Court gave the President of the United States the overarching power of like doing official things and being immune to prosecution because of it. Why in the world would we not? Why wouldn't Biden go, hey, in my official capacity, I'm protecting the United States and I'm going to stop this guy? Oh man, you always got to say, so Truth T, it's an interesting thing to watch these people just like flame out on like a live. I don't get what you think you're going to win by saying horrible things in our chat. It just doesn't make sense to me. But you know what? I'm never going to really understand crazy. You're just crazy. And I think you need help. And it makes me sad to see people that need help that don't get help. Just going to find your comment and block you. Good job, Truth T. Wait, did I read that wrong? Let me read your comment again. I saw the C word. Okay. I get it now, Truth T. I'm not blocking you. Sorry about that. I saw the C word. Try not to say this. I don't know where you're from, but I've never said that word in my life, and I don't plan on ever saying it. And as soon as there's like certain words that are just so ugly to me, I can't see them even. If you say the C word, I understand in some cultures like England, like in London, they say it all the time. I'm not a fan of that word. I don't know why. I almost blocked you, Truth T. It was really dangerous to use the C word. Don't use bad words on my thing, because if there's certain words I'm not okay with, but that's one of them. Don't do that. Yes. I don't know if I can say the word, those files right there. I don't think I can say that on live and not get like flagged. So I'm not going to say it, but I agree. I don't understand how people are not melting down over that. Still can't believe it. Still can't believe it. Yeah, PDF. Thank you. I got to get used to this chat stuff. I don't chat enough. I don't do lives enough, I don't think. I mean, maybe I don't need to do lives enough. You guys just like my videos. I don't need to do a live. Just kidding. I like doing lives. Hey, Health and Happiness is here. One of my favorite people on TikTok. What's up? Every boomer I know are MAGA. I don't understand. Oh, you know, it's I mean, you have to think of it as like kayfabe. They think they're special. I wish I knew how to share a video on a stream. I think I do know how to do it. I'm a little bit of a boomer when it comes to streaming. So let's just like call a boomer at this case. In this case, I am total boomer when it comes to like learning how to stream well. I probably should practice streaming. Right? Oh, I can add source. Let's add the source. Yes, that's it. Tammy, that's a really good point. Jealous, envy, haters. Yes, they get jealous. I have a great story about that if you guys want to hear it, but only if you say, yes, I want to hear your story. That's not true. I'm a boomer and I have tons of friends that are boomers and there's no way. Kathy, I don't think you're a boomer. Boomer means, to me, something different. Boomer is it's not your age that makes you a boomer. It's your attitude that makes you a boomer. And I'm a huge fan of people who are boomers. I'm going to be a boomer eventually, right? We're all going to be boomers eventually. So like, I'm not ageist. I am I'm a person who hates haters. I don't like hateful people. So if you're a person of any age that's like filled with hate, I don't really care. I just don't like you. Yeah. Yep. 1946 to 64. Yep. That makes sense. Yeah. I had a family. Thank you very much, Eva Wood. I appreciate that. I had a family member I saw who was in their late 70s, and I had not seen that person in a while. And when I finally saw them again after like 7 years, they looked at me with this, and I never thought I would see this from this person. I was just like, what is this look that this person's giving me that I'm not used to seeing in someone that's related to me? And it was jealousy. And I was just like, this can't be jealous. Why is this happening? Like, why do I sense jealousy by that look and the stare and all this weirdness coming from them? And it was just, I kept thinking I was crazy for thinking I saw jealousy when they were looking at me. And I was just like, why is that person jealous of me about? That doesn't even make any sense. Find out that, no, it was 100%. It was jealousy. They admitted it later. Like, I'm old and you're younger and you're a younger version of me. And it's like, yeah, I get it, dude. But like, why would you be like angry? I don't know. People be crazy, man. I don't ever want to be mad at someone just because they're younger than me. I think that'd be weird. Yep. Boomer. I had boomers that were born in, I think my mom and dad were born in the 44 or 45. So they were definitely boomers. Yes, they are. I don't want to say that word, but yeah, they're all sore about it for sure. Good. I love it. I'm in the 70s. Mom is 95. I love that you're progressive Democrats. It's so great. I always lived in an authoritarian household, and they were Republicans, and for no reason. They didn't even know why they were Republicans. I would ask, and they would just be like, zip it. Don't ask questions. It's like, why can't I find out? Yeah. Anytime you ask a question in one of those households, man, you get like jacked up. Low vibration energy. Yep. I don't know what that means, but yeah. Yes. MAGA is not a cult. It's a religion now. Yeah. Well, I mean, the same thing, right? Tell me a religion that doesn't act like a cult. I think they all are like that, right? All religions are cults. Thank you very much. Redbird Grit. Oh, sorry, Redbird Grit and Grace. Appreciate that. Remove you is all you can do. Narcissist neighbor. Yeah, exactly. Man, narcissistic neighbors would be crazy. Scientology is, yep. I think I'm Gen X. Yep, I'm Gen X as well. Gen X, what's up? Well, if you don't feel guilty about if your kids ask you a question, feel guilty if how you react to that question. Hey, Lucas, so good to see you live. Thank you so much, Lindsay. I haven't seen you in a while. How you doing? Gen X is good. Yeah, what's cool about Gen X is when we grow up without like cameras around, so you could do things without having to worry about cameras all the time. Probably was very freeing. And a lot of people don't do things because civil court got wrong. Oldest Leo. Wrong one. I don't know what that means, Tammy. Sorry, I'm not following. I have 2 chats open, so I don't know what you're saying. But oh, Helen, don't worry. You're not a boomer. You're only a boomer if you think you're a boomer. And if you act like a boomer. Just don't act like a Karen, and you're not a boomer. You could be like 90 years old and you're not a boomer if you act like a civilized person. Anytime you try to press your beliefs on anybody else, that's when you become a boomer. Don't do it. Don't be a boomer. Be better than a boomer. Yeah. Yeah. A Gen X. Sandy, were you like a latchkey kid too? Because I literally didn't have a curfew after like age 11. It was just, I could do whatever I want, whenever I wanted to go. Like, no one really cared where I was. No, I'm going to use the name Karen because Karen is the term the internet has coined for it. So I have to use the name Karen. And guess what? If your name is Karen, that's the internet, not me. Everybody knows what it means to say, oh, someone's a Karen. But there's also a guy's version of that too. Greetings, X are here too. Sweet. Ain't nobody right if everybody's wrong. Yep, that's an argument, all right. Yeah, common sense human, exactly. Tammy Fitzgerald. Just be common sense. But thing is, like, there, we think we take our intelligence and our common sense for granted. Barushka, are you a Karen or something? Is your name Karen? Is that why you're really harping on this Karen thing? Because sorry, again, it's like, hey, don't use that definition, and you like look in the encyclopedia or the dictionary, and you're like, oh, look, the definition is this. Don't use that. It's bad. It's like, well, it's in the dictionary, so there's nothing I can do. It is what it is. Karen is Karen. The internet has deemed that word to be that. Chad. No, I don't know if Chad's a derogatory. Yeah, Kevin. It's a Kevin, I think. That's right. It could be just a male Karen, right? Couldn't it just be a male Karen? I've said male. Oh, dude, that guy's a male Karen. Get him out of here. Yeah, not everyone has common sense. You got to understand, not everybody has the self-awareness, intelligence, all that stuff. A lot of people don't have an inner monologue. I didn't even know that. A lot of people don't even think. They don't have like this going monologue. And I'm like, man, I'm always thinking. I can't turn it off. Thanks for watching. Sienna's I'm City. Watching them regularly. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. If you guys want to see a topic, also throw it in the chat. I will cover it. Maybe. Only if it's good. I'm not going to cover some random thing that might not be that good. I climbed down a ladder from my bedroom window at midnight to be with the girl next door. What? That sounds interesting. Steve, stop it some more, man. I like it. Ken, no, we're just going to go with male Karen for now, dude. You are lucky, Cleo, for being raised by liberals. I agree with you. I don't think it's a matter of like being raised by liberals. It's being raised by decent people. Doesn't matter what, I don't think it doesn't, to me, it didn't matter what your political affiliation was back in like the 80s and 90s. I don't think it mattered. I mean, maybe it did, and I just wasn't aware of it. But it didn't matter to me. We didn't talk about politics. I didn't talk about politics until like late 2000s, because my family became extremely crazy and they couldn't stop bringing it up. So I was like, what is wrong with you people? Yes, reading books instead of banning them, obviously, for sure. Like, I read so many books. It's crazy. Probably nothing as compared to you folks, but I read like at least 2 books a month. So I go through a lot of books. But I know people that read friggin' 2 books a week. They're ravenous readers. Trump listens to Stephen Miller. That's a good question. Why did Joseph Goebbels listen? Why did Hitler listen to Joseph Goebbels? Right? Same reason, I think. He is bad. They are bad. They know how to incite. Stephen Miller knows how to incite people. He knows who to go after. He knows, he has his finger on the pulse. I don't know how he grew. I guess I didn't know he grew up in like the Santa Monica, California area, but he did. I don't know how people didn't just like grab him and be like, what are you doing? Because he was a little guy. He's always been a little guy. He wasn't like a big guy. Being a hateful person like that, a tiny, and if you guys haven't noticed, they're like usually really small dudes, like sub 6 foot tall. I really think that has a lot to do with it. Very insecure, short dudes. Mussolini, tiny little guy, like midget. They're all real tiny little guys. I am lucky. I'm tall, but I don't think, hey, fan club. Yeah, the thing is, Napoleon wasn't even as short as they say he was. Like, everybody like makes him look, oh, what is this? Your live contains themes that some may find uncomfortable and has been restricted. Hate speech? What? I just got restricted for what? That's so weird. Is it because of like tallness or something? You can't make fun of people's height? Anyway, I can't say short people. Like, really? It's crazy. Let's just call them sub 6 feet. I'm not restarting the stream, bro. There's no way I'm restarting. I'll let it like chill for a little bit. I don't really care. You guys are in here. We're chatting it up. It's cool. That was pretty funny though. I was just like, wait, what? Bullying? I'm not bullying anybody. Anyway, short people. Yeah, someone probably did report it. There's like all these groiper dudes that come on here and like throw hate at my way. It's hilarious. These little fellas. Tiny little people. Hey, fan club. Yeah, no kidding. No, I don't think that's why. But it doesn't hurt that you're 6'2", dude. I'm 6'5", and I didn't. It's not like I, signed up for some subscription or something. Hey, I look pretty good with that mustache. 5'2", my dad says He's a firecracker. Yeah, but Tammy, you're a girl, so you're totally good. 5'2", that's a good range. It's a good range. Women over 5'10" are hard. Like, that's the hard cutoff where like dudes start to get intimidated because they're like usually taller than the dude. No offense to, again, I can't say small dudes, but yeah, shorter people. Gina, that is totally okay. All right, let's get off the topic because I just got like jacked for doing nothing wrong. So, yeah. So if you guys have any ideas on content, you guys can send it on over here and be like, hey, what's up? I'll be like, hey, what's up? Bruce Lee, my hero. Yep. I don't know what that means, but yep, Bruce Lee is good people. It's a long time ago. Wow, 5'10"? Wow. Yeah, the thing is, like, there's nothing wrong with being 5'10". It's just being 5'10" in that grade must have been tough. You're taller than most of the boys. Yeah, actually, you're taller than most of the boys for the rest of your life. Every Napoleon guy will be like really upset with that. But I mean, again, that means you have to do 6 foot and above. Welcome to the club. Oh, what a surprise. Wild Rover 9650. Why don't you come up and chat with me, Wild Rover 9650? I'd love to hear smut that would come out of your mouth. Gotta love these folks say hateful things and then just like run away. Good old Wild Rover. You had your moment in the sun. You are the weakest link. Goodbye. Yeah, George Carlin. Yep, I agree. He was a funny comedian. I like this comedy. I don't think I paid attention too much to him though as a younger person. I don't think I did enough focus on his stuff. He was really funny. He was way ahead of his time and stuff like that. Good old Wild Rover. Let's see. And now you're really gone. See ya. I'm not a fan of people who just like spam the comments instead of like come up and just chat. If you think you want to say something, do it. But you're not going to come up on my, I guess I got to do it on a different platform because TikTok is too aggressive with their like banning and stuff or muting you or whatever they're doing, whatever they do here. Yeah, I can unpack that, but do I really, isn't it obvious, really, Rosie, like why conservative women are the way they are? Like the study I read, the research I went down is that they just don't like other women succeeding in life. And jealousy, envy, all these things that they can't have. Again, I'm not a woman, so I mean, I'm just telling you what the research says, but it's obvious to me at least that they are just like dudes. They're dudes do the same thing. They get jealous of other people and their success. So They want to make them fail. Oh, you're gonna, I'm in a bad place in life, so I want to make sure you're on my level and not higher than my level, or I want to bring you down with me. And yeah, low self-worth for sure. Health and happiness for sure. It's sad because I'm a person who gasses people up. So I'm never going to be the guy who ever hates. I gas people up. I'm the outlier. And I've always been the outlier in my family, where people, where I'm from at least, were for fun, they would just tear each other down. And I was always like, why are we tearing each other down? This doesn't work. Why don't we build each other up? And yeah, it just didn't really, I think people find it easier to tear others down. It's so easy to be a critic than to see the value in people, to see the goodness in people, and stoke that flame of goodness. It's just easy to, everybody's a critic. They say that for a reason, unfortunately. The paradox of tolerance. Yeah. That's a problem that we have in America, is that we have free speech, yet we tolerate intolerant people, and then those people destroy the country from the inside out, because we tolerate these people, and they ride on the backs of oh, free speech, so we can say hateful things. Yeah, that's the problem with tolerance, is happy birthday, health and happiness. It was my birthday a few weeks back too. Woo! I think we, yeah, neurodivergent. That is a good, by the way, that is a good one. I have a justice sensitivity for sure. I like to treat everybody equally. And it doesn't matter if it's my best friend or someone that I'm hanging out with that I just met. Everybody gets their share. And I'm okay with that, right? Thanks very much. It's all right. Long past. The window of happy birthday space is closed, as Larry David would say. The window of condolences is closed. Thank you, though. So yeah, I think, I don't even remember what I was saying. I got lost. Oh my God, you guys are brutal. Yeah, so the tolerance part is a problem. I think I'm for free speech. Of course I am. Who doesn't want to be not censored by your government, or, hurt by your government because you're speaking? But that's what free speech is, right? It's protection from government coming down on you for your speech. That's what it is. It's not, you can just say whatever you want without consequences in other places, or in front of other people, or on platforms, or anywhere else. These are not democracies. This platform I'm on right now, TikTok and Facebook and YouTube, is not a democracy. It's a software that's owned by a company. It's not a democracy. So they get to choose what I say on their platform, right? That is their rules. It doesn't matter if the government has free speech, because free speech just means the government can't crack down on you for what you're saying. That's it. That's free speech, right? There's no other but what about YouTube's blocking my free speech? No, it's not. It's just deciding that you can't say those things on their platform because it's a private company. They get to decide. It's not the company doesn't operate as a democracy. It operates inside of a democracy, but it's not a democracy. Kind of like this group. I could come in here on my live, which I wouldn't do unless you're a hateful person. I can block somebody right now. I'm like, yeah, you're gone. You will never see my account again. Because it's not a democracy. You're on my live. And if you want to be a jerk, I'm just going to block you. And it doesn't matter if you think it's free, muting my free speech. You don't get free speech. You don't get to say whatever you want in my life. Like, that's not a democracy. I think people misunderstand what democracy means. It just means it's a government, right? And you can't, that's what free speech is. You just be free to say what you want, but don't forget, you can't say everything. And that's the tolerance of it. That's us tolerating intolerance. Like, it's crazy that our country has fallen to the point where, and I don't mean it's fallen because it has not fallen, by the way, so don't say it has. That we are allowing hate as if it's equal, as if it's like equal to other speech. Like, hate speech is the equivalent. And just because they say it with like smiles on their faces and in a calm voice, yet they're saying hateful things, and then you're having to like argue with hate speech, and because we normalize it on the same level all of a sudden, now we're looking at two speeches, and now because this is good speech and this is hate speech, but you're arguing with each other, you're legitimizing hate speech. And I think that's what a lot of platforms have done, right? Like, when you have hateful people on podcasts and you know they're hateful, but you're like, I just got to get their side of the story. No, you don't. You shouldn't platform hate speech. You shouldn't normalize it like a normal guest on your podcast. I don't want someone on a podcast with me that's filled with hate, and I don't want to platform them either. I think it's bad for democracy. Some people just don't care about that. And I think the same thing happens with mainstream media now too. They're platforming people. What's that guy's name that's on CNN that almost like attacked Adam Mockler, whatever his name is? What was his name? It's Scott Jennings, I think, right? Scott Jennings. You guys see that Scott Jennings clip where Scott like flew off the handle because someone pushed back? He, like, Adam Mockler like pushed back on him, and like he just couldn't handle. He had nothing to say, so he thought like getting angry and in his face. Like, I can't believe Adam Mockler allowed that. He should have been like, "What are you going to do about it, dude? What are you going to do about it, Mr. Tough Guy?" I would have loved to see what Scott Jennings would have done there. If he would have physically gotten violent, like, Scott Jennings would be gone. I would have like, "What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it, little Jennings?" I'm assuming Scott Jennings is probably one of those little guys also. It brought me so much joy too, Lauren. I was like, watching him fly off the handle just made me go, look at this. It was so delicious to see Scott Jennings have a meltdown. Oh, it was so pleasant. It was just like, oh. And the funny part is, like, the MAGA people thought Scott Jennings won that. I'm like, what are you looking at? What screen are you looking at? Like, that guy melted down, like completely lost it to a guy that's like 20 years, if not more, younger than him. Like, and he wasn't rude about it. Adam Mockler was like a totally nice guy. Like, he was just saying, why are you being condescending to me? And let me just keep talking. I'm not going to back down from you trying to bully me, because Scott Jennings is a bully. He's like one of the worst people ever, but that's why CNN keeps him on. I'm sure you guys know that. They only keep Scott Jennings on because you guys keep watching it because you want to see what's going to happen next. You know you do. You want, and that Scott Jennings flipping out, if you really think about it, him flipping out just solidified his job even more, because everybody, including me, by the way, loved to see Adam Mockler like attack with words. And I think that was amazing. But Scott's like, see, stuff like this. Look at this. Now everybody's like, it's like the most tweeted or messaged video. We all basically hated Scott Jennings, and now he kind of like solidified his job. Cause like, I don't know if you guys ever saw the ratings for Howard Stern, but back in the day, that's called the Howard Stern effect. But Howard Stern was the #1 like radio host in the country, and his fans listened to him like an hour a day on average. But the people who hated him the most listened to him 2 hours a day for the exact same reason you guys watch Scott Jennings. They weren't sure what he was going to do next. They wanted to be there when some crazy thing like flew off the handle. Now that Scott Jennings did that thing, you guys are all going to be like, oh, I'm going to watch every time because what if it happens again? What if it happens again? And the same thing goes on with the Necessary Conversation. You guys watch that show at all? The Necessary Conversation? I think that's the same thing. The Necessary Conversation, exactly the same. You just want Mary Lou and Bob. You're just like, oh, maybe this is the episode where they come around. Maybe this is it. Maybe they're finally going to see the light. I want to be here. I need to be here, because you have this unbelievable positive perspective that you think you guys are falling in love with. And this is the problem with people who have empathy, by the way. This is a problem. And it's not again, it is what it is. Like, I'd rather have this problem because I'm a person with empathy as well. But you fall in love with their potential. You are in love with the potential of Bob and Mary Lou coming around. And that's why we watch, because we think, I want to be there when they finally come around. They're going to change. They're going to change. I know they're going to change. How could they be this way? Cody's fan. Gotta love these people. People do change, but they have to hit rock bottom first. Rosie the Riveter. If you don't mind me calling you Rosie the Riveter. People do change. They just have to really lose in life. Thank you very much, Rhonda Friedman. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's nice to like have a conversation. I mean, I wish I was having a conversation with other people. I'm just yammering, but it's nice to yammer to people who also understand what I'm saying instead of battling with like Trump supporters on Facebook every day. It's pretty easy to like smoke those guys though. Like in the comments, they are children. It's easy to antagonize a bully. I agree. Losing in life also can make people bad people. Yes. But the thing that can make people bad people the most is growing up in a really effed up childhood. And that's what most of these people that are Trump supporters are. Poor little fellas. Poor little Matthew Stearns. Oh, he's going to cry on YouTube. Dude, it's okay. You're going to be okay. Call your father. Call him up. Give him a call. Like, Dad, please accept me. Please accept me, Daddy. And, maybe he will, dude. Or maybe he'll do exactly what he's been doing to you your whole life. Telling you you're not special. Or you're the golden child. And you've been following the rules your whole life. Daddy told you what to do and you followed the rules, but your brother and your sister didn't. And you loved watching them get punished. Masochist. I agree, Rosie. I agree, Rosie. You are a weird dude. Chatham Tide says, I love Donald forever. Do you realize how creepy that is? You love an 80-year-old man. Chatham. It's weird, bro. Like what we would call in the business weird. It's weird, bro. It's really weird. It's really strange. It's just so weird. If you were in real life right now in front of me, I'd be like, bro, what is wrong with you? Super creepy, cringe. You're a cringy dude, man. Oof. Cringe. How do you even say that and like think it's cool? I am in love with an 80-year-old man. Oof. I don't understand the concept of that even. I don't understand the concept of being that enamored by a person to the point where you're like wearing their shirt with their face on it and calling them daddy and stuff. Like, here's the deal. I love that you guys watch my videos, but don't ever wear a shirt of my face ever. But please don't. I don't think, first off, I don't have the prettiest face, right? It's fine, but it's not the best. I would not want to see my face on a shirt. That'd be weird. Don't ever do it. I don't think you ever will anyway. But it's a little strange to like have a politician's face and like be so addicted to a guy like a WWE wrestler. Like he's not a wrestler even. I don't know. It's just so weird. Hey, what's that? Charlton. I didn't know you did live stream. You know, I do live stream every now and then, but it's like, I don't really, it might sound crazy to you guys, but it's actually a lot of work to make videos. Like, I've worked really hard jobs before. I've like run divisions of like Fortune 500, like marketing divisions before. And I think making content is harder than running an entire like marketing for like a Fortune 500 company. So, it's just a lot of work. It's like a crazy amount of work. Like, it's a crazy amount of like writing. I mean, I'm reading and writing like 6 to 8 hours a day, trying to perfect what I'm going to say. Right. And then I try to do as best I can on camera. And you have no idea how much work it takes. I wish I could, and it sounds like, oh, you have such a hard life. No, it's not that I have like a really hard life, but it is hard making content and I have not missed a day of putting a video on the internet for 97 or 98 days now. It's a lot of work. It takes a lot of time. So I appreciate it that you watch my content, and I will live stream as much as you guys want me to live stream. I was thinking about doing a live stream every day, 2 hours a day, but I got to make it work so that I could do my content, my videos, and be able to do like a live show at the same time. That'd be so cool. And then have everybody come up and talk and stuff like that. I would love to do that. That'd be really cool. Yeah, you're right, Vicky. Think the Manson family. I agree. The thing is, like, you can't just be attracted to a cult, though. There's some inherent qualities that people have that make them susceptible to cults. And it's the number one thing from my research is you lack education. Yes, it's education. Yep. Paisy, you are right. Education. If you know things, no one can convince you of those things that you already know, usually, right? Everybody's like, oh, you could be susceptible to, you're just as susceptible to this stuff. Anybody else? No, that's just not true. Anybody that says you're just stuck being in a cult, I just don't agree. Because I've never been a Tony Robbins. So I usually compare it to like Tony Robbins. He has like a little cult. If you are a Tony Robbins follower, cultist, I would say, you are also a person that could fall into another cult. And very much like CrossFit also is a cult. There are people that can fall into these susceptibility like cults. And I'm not one of those people. I will never be in the Tony Robbins cult. I will never be in the CrossFit cult. I never fell for any of that stuff. It just doesn't suit me. I've just wanted to, I don't know. I didn't want to do the things they wanted to do, I guess you could say. So, yeah. Cults are, yeah, CrossFit is definitely a cult. Anybody that says CrossFit's not a cult, that's crazy. If you do CrossFit, I can almost guarantee you're in another cult. Almost always do I see people in another cult. Yep, that's true too. Deep pain. I agree with that. Let me look at my other comments here. Yes, that's why they want to take books away, is because they don't want you to learn what it is. I don't know. I don't know about the, I don't notice that the cult followers have the same usernames. Trump is not a sincere person, yes. He's a criminal. So. All right, I'm going to scroll to the bottom here. Wonder if my thing that was like holding me back from getting into the For You page, whatever that means, is pulled away now. I have no idea. Can't tell. I don't know what you're gaining by posting Trump forever in here. Matt, mandated reporter. Like, I don't get it, dude. It's not, he's clearly not forever. And all of his stuff is going to be stripped away from the United States as soon as he's not in office anymore. We want accountability. I want accountability. I don't know about you guys, but if I want accountability, which I almost never want, I'm just like, hey, move on. Let's just get over it. No, accountability's coming. We actually have to, like, legally rip everything down he put up. I don't think it's good to, there's no third term. There is no third term. The United States will rise up against that. There's no third term. Not even a chance. Can I comment on what? Can I comment on, it says, can I comment on that? Yeah, we can't forget. This can't be, oh yeah, let's just all get over it. Let's just move on. This is not a Nixon situation where, Ford pardons him as soon as he leaves office and he fades away into obscurity. We already know this guy doesn't fade away into obscurity. So, yeah. Yep. Wait till you see my video, Colleen. You're going to like my video that's coming out that I almost was able to do right before this stream here, live stream. I have a video coming out breaking down like every single aspect of why Donald Trump is the way he is. And I've done a ton of research on this. And I have to admit, Mary Trump's got some good, that book is really good. Fan club, woo! Thank you very much. Alcoholics Anonymous. Is that what you want me to comment on AA? I mean, I get the correlation. People who are addicts grew up in like chaos. And usually, again, this is a sweeping generalization. You have to get over it. But it's at the same time, I think it's pretty accurate, is that people who are addicts grew up in chaos. It's kind of why they're addicts usually. And they look for other chaos in their lives. They create chaos in their lives. They want chaos in their lives because it's familiar. They grew up with it, so it's familiar. So they create chaos in their lives. And Trump is chaos. Trump reminds them of their father, the chaos they grew up with, the abuse they grew up with. Yes, it's comfortable. It sounds crazy, but it's comfortable. People that grow up in chaos can go two different ways. They can go to the right, which is let's just recreate the chaos I know for the rest of my life, and I'm just going to keep doing it, and have destroyed marriages and destroyed friendships and all sorts of stuff. Hey, what's up? Just tons of chaos, right? And then there's people that are just like so against the chaos. They just like split away from it and say, never again. No more chaos. I don't want chaos. I just want a quiet, simple life. And the right-leaning people become abusers, right? They see the chaos, they mimic the chaos, they become like the golden children in the family that follow the rules of the chaos maker, who is the authoritarian parent, who's like, my way or the highway. And there's people that go left and go, hey, F this, dude, I'm out. I am not doing this my way or the highway stuff. Like, no more. And the people you see following Trump, most of them are broken, damaged, horribly immature people stuck in arrested development. They think like bullying people is cool. Remember those guys? I don't know. I think it's kind of funny. Yeah, I'm ready for politics to be boring again as well. Yep. I divorced my narcissist ex-husband. Yes, exactly. And that's, you either, Colleen, you either go left or you go right from that, right? You either break up with someone, that person, and then find another person that literally mimics that person, or you go, no more. I really got to change. I got to create boundaries for myself, right? Boundaries aren't for the other person. Boundaries are for you. I'm going to do this if you do that. It's not like, you better watch out. No, it's like, I state your boundary and you're like, if you're this horrible thing, you do these horrible things, I am going to remove myself. It has nothing to do with you. If you keep doing it, that's the only thing that, I'm just going to remove myself from the situation. Yeah. I wouldn't want to be around a narcissistic person either. I get it. What I don't understand is like how, after being listed in the PDF files, how after that you're just okay with it. That part doesn't make sense to me. Like, oh yeah, his name's listed more times in the PDF file than the Bible mentions Jesus Christ. That's crazy. Yet, hey, he's all good with me. That's never gonna get that one. It's really easy to block people on YouTube. Yes, I believe that to be true. What up, Mr. DJ? DJ. Thank you very much, Davey Struthers. Appreciate that. I still don't understand though. Like, I feel like a lot of these people that are Trump supporters, even right now, they think it's like some counterculture cool thing to be like they like wearing the shirt because it like makes other people like just angry. And it's like, bro, you are not like some punk from the 70s or 80s with your spiky hair making people angry for the right reasons, or, frustrated because you're dressing strange. You're wearing a sign of like hate. You're like wearing a hate symbol. Like, it's crazy. To me, that sounds crazy. Yet to them, they find it. I watched people who are Trump supporters in real life, and they seem to like enjoy triggering other people to the point where the other people were about to like get into a physical altercation with them. And they were like, yeah, bring it on. It's like, you're an adult. Like, why do you want to do that? Like, what's the motive here? What do you plan on? What will you get? Like, what do you get from it? Thanks very much, fan club. Woo. I've watched these other streamers and they like fan club it up. Like, they just keep getting fan club after fan club thing. And I'm like, I get one like every 10 minutes. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. But after like, I'm like so used to like watching these other guys do it. I'm like, man, I really don't have that many fans. These guys are like fan club. So, but they're also like giant streamers and stuff. I'm just a little guy. I totally understand the women who support it. Yeah, I agree. Attention. I agree. These guys do it. They love the attention of it. They want to trigger people. They love triggering people, and they don't understand like, no, this kind of like hateful movement never existed in the United States. The only time it ever did was the far right guys, the ones that were like really evil people walking around thinking like the guy from Germany in the 1930s was cool, right? Like that guy, like those were that they think that stuff is cool now. And it's like, bro, that is not cool. That's just hate. And history is going to look down upon you, and you're going to be shamed forever after this. You're going to live in shame forever. And we're going to make sure nobody forgets. Sorry. You had your chance. This is your chance to leave right now, dude. Yes, exactly, Cleo. Exactly. So I think that's, these folks think it's like a fun and game. It's like fun and games. Oh, I'm just going to do this because it's going to trigger people. No, dude. Like if this was the 80s or the 90s, this would not work out good for you. People weren't as litigious in the 80s and 90s. There would be consequences to what you were doing right now. But because these little kids, and that's who most of these people are, like they're either like boomers, like really hardcore, like last time they were cool was when like the last Dirty Harry movie came out, right? And they think there's like guys on like Facebook that think they're like fighting some kind of like war. This is crazy. And then there's like these younger dudes that are like, yeah, he's the best. It's like, dude, you don't even know what you're talking about, man. Thank you very much, Kim. I appreciate that. I'm glad you found me. Fluffy the Spoon. Hey, man, I love your videos. You already give me some bright education. You are savior, man. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. It means a lot. Anyway, short story long, or long story short. I don't know. Short story long. It's more like with me. Sometimes I get so used to talking. I get too lazy to stop. Thanks, L-Dub. L-Dub. There used to be physical consequences. Yes, there did. Yes, there were. And I was always taught, like, you want a bully to stop bothering you. There's a movie called I think it was called 3 O'Clock High. Has anybody ever seen that movie? 3 O'Clock High? It's literally about a kid who bumps into a dude who's supposed to be some bad dude. And he's like working up to like get into this like altercation at like 3 p.m. And the whole movie's like him trying to get out of it. And then he ends up like winning. And he's like this champion because nobody likes a bully, dude. Like, let's be honest. Like you put a bully in a story, you think people are going to be rooting for the bully? It's like rooting for, in the Karate Kid, that's like rooting for the skeletons, like chasing like, Ralph Macchio across the quad. Nobody roots for the bully. And you supporting Trump you're the bullies. You understand that, right? You lose in every movie. And none of that's a lesson to you? It's shocking to me. I don't understand you bullies because you never win. I don't understand how you could think you could win. You're never going to win. Nobody wants to live in a bully, under a bully. No one wants somebody bossing them around. Nobody wants that. You don't even want that. Well, yeah, I guess you do. I guess you do want that. Your daddy, Trump. You do want that. Consequences will make them wake up pretty quick. I think they already are waking up. Like it's funny, I released a video about Tucker Carlson, like saying to these little bullies, and it wasn't that I believed Tucker Carlson really meant he was sorry. Like, not even a little bit. I was like really happy that he modeled what it looked like to admit you're wrong. Never have I ever met anybody who supports Trump who ever could admit they were wrong in their lives. Never once. Never once have I met a person that supports Trump that is actually, before Trump came along, I've never met someone on the right that could ever admit they were wrong. They would just like either glance over being wrong, or they would just be like, no, I'm not wrong. Even though they were clearly wrong. They fell right into the people who support Trump, those same people. So when Tucker Carlson goes on and does a video in front of like his 15 million subscribers, and by the way, Tucker Carlson gets more views than Fox News does. If you go on and say, hey, I was wrong, and I'm sorry, even if he doesn't mean it, it matters. It's so important to have like a military general tell his soldiers to lay down arms than to just try and force them to lay down arms. Get it? So that's what that video is about. Tucker told people and showed them, hey, I'm wrong. Either whether he means it or not, doesn't matter. Hey, I'm wrong, and this is what you do when you're wrong. This is what you do, is to take accountability. Even if it was performative, thank you for doing it anyway. That is an amazing thing that Trump will never do. But guess what? People watch Tucker Carlson more than they watch Trump. So that, and now he's on an apology tour. Even better for us. All these people are backing away from Trump. I mean, these are the people that back away first. It's always the big influencers that then the message comes down. Think of all the podcasters that all these like right wingers like listen to. They're all backing away, and all that message is trickling down into them going, oh man, my favorite podcaster doesn't like him anymore. The one I listen to every day religiously. And then you find out, you're like, oh, well, that's good. That's helping these other people, because these people don't like to think for themselves. Hey, wow, that's pretty cool. $5 from Chris. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. I didn't even know that. Even know YouTube was doing that. Pretty cool. Thank you very much. What did you have to say? Do you have a comment? Thank you for your videos. Thanks so much, man. Appreciate that. Who'd have thought? Like $5. Thanks very much, man. I appreciate that, Chris. I didn't even know there's like I didn't even see this until that $5 popped up. There's no goal over here. That's funny. Anyway, so I don't remember what I was saying, but hopefully you guys understand what I'm saying. These podcasters doing these things might not seem genuine, but we don't care if they're genuine. We care that they're saying the stuff even our president won't say, which is basically de-escalating, which is allowing people to have an excuse to walk away. I know we do. New York City, UConn. Did you go to UConn? My brother went to UConn. I agree. We need to secure the elections. We can't play this game. We can't play this game of like having norms and traditions anymore. We have to codify all of this in law. We have to codify everything we consider as tradition, because you can see what happened when we just have tradition. People don't follow the rules. All you need is one Nero. All you need is one Emperor Nero or an Emperor Commodus or, any of the old Roman emperors who were like crazy people that then got into power and started doing horrible things. And all it takes is one, and the entire place goes up, right? Nero, was one of the worst emperors of ever. So I always compare it to that. But we have to codify this in law and make sure that there's a law enforcement arm as well to hold these people accountable. That is like the judicial has a law enforcement arm that is not controlled by the what's it called, Attorney General. We have to have that, I think. What do you guys think? Yeah, Caligula. Thank you, Linda. That's the name I was actually searching for in my head right when I was saying it. Caligula is another really awful, psychotic emperor. Awful, horrible person. If you guys know anything about history. If you don't, go read about it. Find it interesting. Checks and balances. The thing is, checks and balances only matter if we have like a law enforcement arm to have that. I think each branch of our government needs a law enforcement arm because of this. Honestly, don't know enough though. I shouldn't just say that, but it feels like that we need to have some kind of law enforcement arm for judicial, because it's great that you have the judicial branch, but at the end of the day, if they have no law enforcement capabilities, what the hell are you going to do? We're literally it's crazy. But how do we get past these midterms? I don't know. I had an interesting conversation. This military guy popped in, and maybe he's watching me right now on Facebook, but dude, your conversations, we had a conversation. It is what it is. I'm not going to say who you are, but a high up guy in the military, just retired, I think within the last 5-6 years, he's like, all of us are with Trump. And I'm like, what do you mean all of us, dude? You're retired. Yeah, but I get all the messages. I'm high up. I was high up in command. We all are on Trump's side. We can't wait to take you liberals out. I'm like, what are you saying? This person was like a colonel in a very prestigious arm of the military and was saying these crazy things to me. And I was like, hey, dude, do you know what you're saying to me right now? I could probably reach out to you're retired, but you're still part of the military. And I can reach out and tell them what you're saying to me right now. I'm positive that would not go over well for you. The stuff he said startled me because I was like, what is going on? This guy actually thinks he's right. And I'm like, why do you think we're so, people like us are so dangerous? I am just a normal person. I'm not some extreme left-wing guy. I don't think any extremes are good. Extreme is bad. I am just a regular person. I would have called myself a left centrist for the longest time until this. Until his first term, that's when I was like, okay, I think I have to be political now. I've never wanted to be political, but I think I have to be. 2017 was the year I was like, that's it. I thought all of this was going to happen in 2017, to be honest with you. So another thing I have to say is that we could general strike. We could be in the streets tomorrow. And we need to be at the voting booth so much that they can't argue with the results. All of us have to vote like our lives depend on it. Because it does, right? If you want to live under a dictator, then don't vote. Perfect. Don't do anything, I guess. But show up if you don't, right? At the end of the day. please show up and vote the right way. Even Tucker Carlson's voting for a Democrat. So, yeah. We'll be allowed to vote. You just can't be scared to vote. You can't let them intimidate you, because that's what they're going to try to do. They're going to try and disenfranchise as many people as they can, because they know when people vote, they don't vote Republican. The people who actually vote, for some reason, these podcasters made it cool to be like a Trump supporter in 2024. People fell for it. They were like, oh, all of my friends are doing it. Might as well do it too. We're all partying. And that's the reason why they did it. They thought it was cool, all these young people. And then as soon as all this crazy stuff started happening, a lot of them backed away. You guys saw his polls, right? A lot of who he is was completely rejected, and is completely rejected by kids. Anybody younger than 30 is like, I'm not a Trump supporter. They're instantaneously backing away. So the hard part is going to be whether or not he tries to claim like fraudulent elections, and then like has like the military try to like seize voting and ballots and all that stuff. Like, I don't think he can, because the states are responsible for voting. And that's why I think that's why he's trying to intimidate states into giving him the voting rolls, so that he makes it a commonplace for him to ask for voting rolls. And I think he's going to try and probably do that. They don't seem very concerned, though. I don't know about you guys, but they don't seem that concerned about it. Not really. Like, they did the congressional map thing. They rolled back the voting right thing. That's a pretty big deal. Those laws have been around for like 60 years, 50 years. And I don't know. We have the power, though. Doesn't matter what you guys think. We actually have the power. We have the numbers. If we all went into the streets, it's over with for them. Yeah, it is disturbing, but you know what? At the end of the day, it's disturbing. It is. I would be lying if I said it wasn't. It's really, 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 really uncomfortable. All of this is not comfortable. I've been backing away from Mango Mussolini for decades. Yeah, of course. But, not for me. I backed away from Trump. I never thought he would win the election, but I don't know if you guys heard this or not. I'm not AI. I'm definitely not AI. So I don't know if you guys heard this or not, but I didn't know this until literally like 2 days ago, maybe. Hillary Clinton helped get Trump on, like, she wanted to compete against him, because she thought she would win against him for sure. She helped him get notoriety, call him the best candidate, all this other stuff. She, in a way, helped him because she thought she could beat him very easily, and it failed. So that's why, another reason why we have Trump is because of Hillary Clinton. I was so surprised. I was like, oh, what a weird conspiracy. What a stupid, weird conspiracy this is. And then I looked it up and I was like, oh my God, it's real. She thought she could beat him, and she like elevated his like notoriety. I had no idea this was real. I thought it was such a trick. I'm like, yeah, right, dude, get out of here. And no, there was like what was it called? I'm going to look it up while I'm on the horn with you guys here. There was a term, like, it wasn't the backfire effect. It was, let's see what it is again. Indirectly. Let's see. Oh, it's not working. Chat, it's funny. Google AI is so, I don't want to get involved. That's what it always does. It's like, dude, I'm just asking a question. Just answer. Help get. Pretty sure. Yes. Hillary Clinton indirectly helped Donald Trump win in 2016 through strategic miscalculation, though caused is too strong. Yes, correct. Obviously. Pied Piper. Did someone mention that in the chat already? It's called the Pied Piper effect. The Pied Piper strategy memo became controversial because it discussed elevating extreme GOP candidates believed easier to defeat. So they elevated. Yes, Pied Piper strategy. Exactly. You got it. Really, Rosie? AI does need rules and regulations, but guess what? The entire economy is being propped up by AI. So it's kind of like the housing market. Remember maybe you guys are some of you are too young, but the housing market in 2006, around 2006, 2008, when the crash happened, the entire economy was being held up by the housing market. And because people are like, housing markets would never crash. But when it did, when everybody was like fudging the numbers because they were like, shoot, if we don't do this, it's going to collapse. And then that's what happened when they finally pulled the plug. And that's what AI is right now. AI is the new housing market. Violent rhetoric by Jimmy Kimmel was appalling. Did you literally just say that, Blaze Montgomery? You are delusional. Oh, people like you, man. I don't know how you exist in society. How are you breathing air? How can you breathe by yourself? How does your autonomic nervous system work with a comment like that? You're alive. How? Like, how are you alive? Ugh. You're alive. How does that even work? You're so dumb you can't even. Oh, man. Oh, man. Lack of intelligence from these southern countries, man. Woo-hoo. Colin, I agree. I agree with that statement. Yeah, I can't believe some of these folks. Like, how are you alive and breathing on your own if you're this unintelligent? You're this, I wouldn't even say brainwashed, because it's not. You're just dumb now at that point. You're just like not smart. Sorry. It's really hard to, guys, you don't understand. It's really hard talking to people like this. Let's put him in a timeout. What do you think? Put user in timeout. See you later there, little buddy. Wah, wah. Nice chatting with you, Blaze. Yes. Self-funded, 100%. The People Talk Show Live. I don't know what that means, self-funded, but yeah, I make my own content. I edit it myself. Nobody gives me money. That would be really nice if they did. Just kidding, of course. But I mean, no, I would totally. Are you kidding me? I would, heck yeah, dude. That'd be great. I'd love to be a super full-time content creator where I can like pay my bills doing it. That'd be so cool. I would stream every day for you guys. Be like, hey, guess what? What? No pack money. Not even close. I don't even know anybody in the pack. No pack money. But I'm not adverse to it. I'll take some pack money. I'm already talking about this stuff. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Cake guy, Cameron. That's a weird name. Strange name, unless you make cakes. That makes actually way more sense now. My bad. That does make sense. My bad. Yeah, it's weird that you could be that. It'd be weird that anybody that could be just like so enamored and so just delusional. But I don't think they are. I think they know what they're doing. They're trying to be heels in the comments. I think they're trying to be heels. I think they just want attention. They want me to mention it on stream probably. They're probably like, oh, look at that. I got him. I made him upset. No, you didn't make me upset. You just made me block you. Not that big of a deal. I'm over it, dude. You must not understand life if you think that upset me. Oh, thanks, Queen Esther. I appreciate that. You're working on a Saturday? What are you doing? What are you working on? Queen Esther, what in the heck are you working on? I'm not letting you go until you tell me. Oh, that makes total sense. You're a trained pastry chef. That's awesome. That is really cool, man. I love pastry, but you know, it's delicious, but I can't eat a lot of pastry. It's the only downside about pastry. Can't eat a lot of it. Huge fan. I wish you guys could make some pastry, like cakes and stuff, all sorts of stuff. That's like, just like no sugar, no fat, no nothing. I'll eat it all day. Come on, cake guy, Cameron, you got this. What is going on over here now in the other chat? I work for myself. I'm allowed to say this? For on administrative side of healthcare. Okay, cool. Started my own billing company. Very cool. That's awesome. You got to take some days off, though. You got to take some days off. I mean, you should just splurge a little bit today and hang out with us. Just be like, you know what? I'll do this on Sunday instead. Just kidding. Look at me being a bad influence. Funding comes from a variety of sources. Donors identify as private individuals. I don't know what that means. Okay, cool. Yeah. Oh, you're writing the road this way. Yeah, good times. I retired 6 months ago. It's glorious. I'm just afraid I'm the last generation who will get to. Yeah. I mean, that's a legit concern. Retiring is probably really nice. What's going on with Aaron Parnas? Something wrong with Aaron Parnas? Does he like take PAC money or something? Who cares if he does? It's not gonna change what he says. The thing is, like, when marketing, or when a sponsor aligns, so I think the People's Talk Show doesn't understand what socialism and communism is. First off, I can define both of those for you really easily, but I don't think you'll take it as the truth because you're one of those people. I have a video probably about. I don't really know you, but I'm guessing you're one of these people. Let me look at your profile. Oh, parody and satire. Never mind. I get it now, dude. Oh, you're fine, dude. Great. I don't care if you have a PhD, dude. I have a PhD in Game Boy. What does that do for me? Nothing. So what? I have 2 master's degrees. Oh, wow. We're all so cool now. PhD. I agree, though. PhD proves you can do the work, but I would love to know what your PhD is in. Yeah, so socialism is, I think it's fascinating that people like you ask and compare. I mean, here's the thing. I grew up thinking communism and mass communication. Okay, cool. So I grew up thinking communism and socialism were the same thing. I just thought they were just different words for the same thing. So I had no idea. I was just a dumb kid. I was always talking like, oh yeah, no big deal. Socialism and communism are the same. I was taught socialism and capitalism, or socialism and communism were exactly the same thing, for sure. And marketing for decades, the United States made sure to tie those two things together to make them sound evil and to make them sound like they are the same, and they're not. Now, there are multiple forms of socialism, and there are only one real, I guess there are multiple forms of communism, but not really, because I don't think China is really communist anymore. I think it's a communist capitalist society. They're communists when they feel like they want to be communists, and they're capitalists when they feel like they want to be capitalists. But communism is a broken system, and it's authoritarian led. It's the opposite, the exact polar opposite of fascism. Fascism's the far right. So when the far right gets in the power, we get fascism. And the far left is communism. Nobody wants these. Nobody wants these. These are both bad. We've already tried both. They're both really bad. Lead by dictator, lead by dictator. It's not good. It's not good. These are not good, right? Socialism could mean a number of things on the left, I guess you call it. But to me, modern democratic socialism is a totally, yes, democratic socialist, exactly. So democratic socialism is more of services for the people. The government takes care of the people. The government provides healthcare. They provide college and education. An educated population is a better population, usually. Old socialism was a lot. It was like the purer form of socialism was more like the people own everything. And what was interesting about it was it acted a lot. People didn't really have a lot of it still has, socialism has private property, by the way. Communism doesn't allow private property. Socialism does allow private property. Especially again, modern socialism is just a regular democracy, just the government provides more services and systems for you. So you don't fall behind or fall out of society and become homeless or become get sick and can't afford your medical bills and things like that. Modern democratic socialism is what happens in Sweden and Norway and I think Denmark. I think the UK has got socialism built into it with its DHS, or what's that thing called over there? I can't remember it, but it's their healthcare system is a socialistic healthcare, universal healthcare. Canada has universal healthcare. Yeah, you grew up in a socialist system. There you go. But you didn't grow up in a hardcore dictator socialist. Would you think London is under a socialistic dictator? No. Would you think Canada is run by a dictator? No, but it's socialist. It's a socialist government. So yeah, it's like a government that actually helps the people. Now, old socialism back in the day was a little more, it was kind of a balance of it was communism back in the day before communism became toxic to us, which it is definitely toxic. Communism and socialism were both competing ideas, and one went further this way to a dictatorship where it was forced rule to make sure that people, the property, everything you had was kind of you could have private property, but it was a lot of it was owned by the people. Everything was kind of owned by the government of the people. But communism was the one that took it all the way. It's the implementation of communism that was the bad part. That is again, fascism and communism. No, fascism is not a form of socialism. You're wrong about that. I hate when people say that. Slappy white, not right. Sorry, my man. Socialism and fascism are completely different things. Fascism is when the far right gets control in authoritarian dictatorship that rules by force and violence. Socialism isn't force and violence. So you're wrong. So stop spreading false information, dude. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of people that slappy white. What does it say? Same with communism. Communism and fascism are the exact opposite of each other. They're literally the polar opposites, like North Pole and South Pole. Communism is the far, far left, almost as far as like, and the word anarchy is like supposedly the farthest left you can go. I don't know. I think anarchy is crazy. That's nuts. No, there isn't. So name a socialist dictatorship right now, dude. Go ahead. I'll wait. Name a socialist dictatorship that's a true socialist dictatorship and not an authoritarian dictatorship. I'm waiting, Slappy White. Where you at, man? You were really like loud a second ago. Now you're all of a sudden silent. Just like a MAGA. Always the same. Nothing to say. I'm waiting for the personal insult. Hold on, let's wait for that. Oh, okay. You're not trying to be a dick? Okay, cool. I'll dial it back. I'll dial it back, Slappy White. I'll dial it back. JD F up is going to prison. Yeah, I think he is actually too. The thing is, these people have like a lot to lose right now. So they're going to fight like they have a lot to lose. We have to understand that that's going to happen. I hope you guys know that. Yeah, that's what I said. Communism and fascism have very similar mechanisms, but one's far left and one's far right. I think if I had to choose between either of them, I would choose none of them because they're both bad. But again, fascism is way worse. Fascism is rule by violence. You say something bad, you're going to disappear. And your whole family does too. That's what happens. Yeah, that's another thing. Communism killed more than fascism. Yeah, so here's the thing, man. If you put them on it's funny because I had this argument with my brother. He's very much like, I don't know what you are, but you sound like a far right guy to me. So your words sure sound like far right for not being a Trump supporter. Sounding far right to me. My brother has the same argument. Oh, the communists killed so many people. Yeah, I don't think so, dude. So anyway, communists put on the same time frame of fascism being in power versus communism being in power. I already did the math. Clearly, you did not. Fascism is way worse. The death toll is way worse. So you're wrong. Put them on the same timeline of like being in power. If you put fascism on the same timeline as how long communism was in power, like Russia, especially under Stalin and under all those guys. Stalin was of course, horrible person, did horrible things, just horrible dictator. But if you put fascism on the same one, more people definitely got offed under fascism. On the same time horizon, it would have been like 10 times worse. So just so you know, I already had this disagreement, so I already went into research just to dissuade the far right talking points. They are far right talking points. Be careful with your far right talking points and comparing like communism to like fascism and communism was worse. Well, dude, communists were in charge. They were in power for decades. So they had lots of time to do horrible things. I'm not saying you're wrong, but there was a famine that communist China had in like the 50s and 60s, I think it was. And like Millions of people died of famine under like Mao. This guy, I think that was his name, the Mao family there. And we don't even have the numbers of how many people died, but it was tens of millions just from famine in China. So yeah, if you compare how many countries, yeah, fascism is way worse. So what else? Yeah, there you go. Exactly. 70 million. Exactly. Crazy numbers. They put up numbers for sure. Horrible numbers. But if you just look at World War II, who caused World War II? It was Germany, right? At the end of the day, Germany and Italy were the aggressors, but Germany turned it into a world war. And I think that it was like 100 million people was the average. It's like 85 to 100 million. They don't really know the exact number because they didn't really have very good stats back then. No hate on Slappy White. If you're really not being a far right guy, just you're saying a lot of far right stuff, dude. That's the only reason why I said that. It reminded me of my brother, very far right dude, who tries to apologize. Says that Winston Churchill was the aggressor in World War II, and I'm like, what? Are you crazy? This is a history major too. It's kind of funny to me. Yeah, there you go. 1930, 32 and 33. Yep, I believe that. Yeah, I know, dude. We're not saying you do. You're good, man. You're good. You're just comparing like communism to like fascism, and you said communism killed more people, and it's like, it's because they were in power longer. That's all. It's very, again, nothing against it. Statistically, you're just wrong about that part because again, it's just how long they were in power for and how many of them were like how many governments and I guess civilizations actually were under communism versus fascism. He did, Sharon, you're right. Hitler came to power because of after World War One, they were humiliated, according to Mussolini and Hitler. The same thing happened to Italy too, by the way. They helped and they never got the money that they were promised after World War One. We promised Italy a bunch of money, and they never got it, so their economy suffered really bad. Same thing with Germany, is that they feel like after World War One, they got destroyed financially, and they did because they started a war, and I mean, it was pretty harsh for sure. Their punishment was pretty harsh. Yep, really, Rosie, you're right. My professor in college said the reason Germany started World War II was because they were tired of paying reparations for World War One. That is one of the reasons, but also it was they were taking like wheelbarrows full of cash like around town. Like things cost so like they would be spending like $1 million, like whatever the money was back then, Deutschmarks. It's like $1 million to like buy bread and stuff because their inflation was so bad. And so yeah, I mean, there were no jobs in Germany. The money wasn't worth anything. Yeah, hyperinflation, exactly. And there was no like, what are these guys going to do to eat and drink and all this other stuff? So like, there's a lot of people. Yeah, you're very welcome, Bowden. There's a lot of people on the streets and didn't have work in Germany and after World War One, and that's why a hateful, horrible person was able to get with his simple answers to complex problems was like, hey, I'm gonna make Germany great again. That's exactly what he said. He's doing this is the exact same playbook. It's like to the T. Same playbook. You know what they did too? You guys probably don't know this, but I learned this recently too. Maybe you do, so you can just say that. But in World War II, where they got people to join the brown shirts people, like basically they're the guys who went in and like beat people up and hurt people for Germany, they hired convicts out of prison as the people who would go in and beat up political opponents in Germany. Now, does that sound familiar to anyone? Like maybe like having people like the Proud Boys? Yes, exactly. Exactly. All these far right militias now work for our federal government. Sounds familiar. Yeah. I mean, think about unemployed people are very highly influential. Like it's easy to influence them. Like, hey, you're going to give me $100 and nobody else is going to give me $100. I'll do whatever I need to do. I need to eat. I need to feed my family. I need to do these things. So to make sense. And think about it. Look at how easy their job is too. These are brutal, cruel, mean people who just can't wait to be turned loose on people. They have been wanting this for forever. I can go do this and not get in trouble for it. Sign me. Oh, you're going to give me money too? Like, sign me up is what they're thinking. And that's clearly not a good thing. It's already 4:00. You guys are really getting a lot here. What's going on? 4:00. Let's see here. That won't happen, right? Right? All right, what else you got for me? Thank you for all your content. You are so welcome, Paul. Thank you for watching. It means a lot. I'd love your opinion on would be better for country. I don't know. I think cult collapse happens when that happens. They have nothing to rally around anymore. There's no charismatic person. I can't think of any. Oh, that's okay. You didn't. Here's the thing. I don't care about typos. I understood what you wrote. I don't think there's any charismatic person left. So theoretically, I think it just turns into people coming out more because there's no authoritarian presence. I think everybody will start to try to backpedal. Oh, he's gone. What do we do? Let's pretend like we were against them the whole time. That's my guess. I think that's right. One can only wish life in the solar system. One can only wish. That would be hilarious if that, they can go to Jonestown if they want to. And I heard someone's mixing something up pretty special for them. I don't know what that means. We are seeing the extinction burst of the mediocre YouTube man. Is that what that means? YT? I don't know what that means. No, it's not going to work now either. It's not going to work now either. You're just, yes, following orders never works. It's already proven. We only had the Nuremberg trials because we wanted to like highlight so that we never did this again, like the same atrocities never happened again. The military was going to like just not do that. They were just going to disappear them in a not friendly way. But they're like, no, 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 no. We got to show the world that we're better than that. We got to show the world the atrocities. We got to put them on trial. It was really important to do that so we never repeated the same mistakes. And yet here we are voting an authoritarian who is cruel and evil and is a sadist who loves to see people in pain. Sad. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate that. Yeah, I agree. The MAGAverse is crazy. I don't get it. I'm still trying to figure it out too. Just when I think I always have like this underlying hope that they'll just like snap out of it one day and be like, oh, look, you're back to normal. But I think they just have like, they lead a lot of boring lives. They have nothing before this. So a lot of folks have tied their identity into being something bigger than themselves. And it just happens to be a real hate-filled movement. It's kind of sad. Yeah, it's a good movie. I agree. Can't believe that was Russell Crowe, right? The truth will prevail. Internal laws and institutions are a joke. I don't know I don't get it. What's your point? Okay. So what kind of a person are you? The truth prevails. You're against international law? I don't get it. Are you just some far right dude that just popped in? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's probably true. Yes. Meticulous records. I agree. Colleen, you're right. The thing is, though, they also like never directly said things. Also, they knew what they were doing was bad, and they knew if they lost, they had to keep it coded so they weren't able to like write down exactly what they did, like openly, like, yes, we approve this horrible thing. They would talk about in generalizations, but everybody kind of like knew what they meant. My best friend is a Trump supporter. I still love her so much. Yeah, sorry to hear that. I don't know how do you put up with her? Ugh. It's a tough gig, dude. I mean, you basically have to never talk about anything with them ever. Yeah, I would have a trouble accepting it as well. That's crazy. I can't do it. It's not like he's just like it's not like your friend is just supporting like another politician. Like it's not like I like the Undertaker WWE wrestler. This is literally like going, hey, my friend joined Turning Point USA, which is basically, the kids version of the 1930s Germany youth program. That's what she joined she joined the political party in the 1930s Germany is what you did, is what your friend did. And you're like, I don't know how I can be friends with him anymore. Well, there's a good reason you're thinking that, because you're a decent human being, that means. You should probably not be comfortable with that. I like it. I'm a fan, Cameron. They shouldn't. I agree. I like that. Brainwashing, TPUSA. Yep. It's exactly the youth program in the 30s from Germany, for sure. That's exactly the same thing. I mean, that's all it is. Yeah, go ahead. Tell me the weirdest part, dude. You gotta type a little faster, Jax. You're killing me here. We're waiting. Oh no, you're not gonna. Oh my God, that's hilarious. I have a story about that too. It's not surprising at all. That makes me a little laugh, but in an ironic laugh, not as in it's funny. I know somebody who is so against undocumented immigrants, who called them illegal aliens, like very clearly illegal aliens. We got to get rid of the illegal aliens, like they're like some foreign like species from outer space or something, and hated them, and then goes and hires some. And I was like, wait, you have guys working for you that don't speak English, and you're super against undocumented immigrants, which they called them illegal aliens. And I'm like, I don't understand. Like, I do you not see the hypocrisy here? Like, what are you talking about? Oh no, they're doing work for me. What are you talking about? And I'm like, yeah, but so you don't like them, but you love the ones you hired. And I'm just like, how do you not understand? You like them. You don't mind these people like that are just trying to make a better life for themselves. The problem is you like them when you hire them and they work for you for cheap, but you don't like them in general. That just doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't make sense. And that's the same scenario, right? They don't care unless it benefits or harms them. So if it hurt them, they're like, oh, that's it. All of them are bad because I got hurt by one. That's how these people think. They are very self-centered people. Yeah. It's so crazy, the hypocrisy of these folks, but they don't care about their hypocrisy. And I've been trying to write something about this and make a video about like how they just don't care, how hypocritical they are. They just don't care. Like you can bring it up and be like, and then just like, they'll just scream at you. Like they'll turn it around on you and be like, fake news or, oh, you're a jerk. And it's like, dude, like, it's not my fault. You're literally a walking like hypocrisy here. Like everything you do is like hypocritical. And the same thing goes with your friend. I'm sorry, but she's very hypocritical. She sure loved undocumented person she was with until they're not together anymore. Now she doesn't like those people. I mean, she's your best friend. How does your best, like usually best friends like have things in common. So I just have a hard time understanding how a best friend could be literally the polar opposite of that. And it's not like you're like trying to hold her to some crazy high standard, like she has to do exactly something like this, or oh no, you gotta do this. No, you're basically saying, why don't you understand your hypocrisy? Why don't you understand that? I don't know. It's just weird. MAGA has no concept of it. Yeah, I agree. Eric, you're right. They have no concept of hypocrisy because I think they do actually. Thanks, Lucy. I appreciate that. I saw somebody else say hi earlier too. I gotta go scroll back and say hi back here. Oh, Pamela Kelly. Hello, Pamela Kelly. How you doing? So, Ashiko. I don't know what that is. What is the Ashiko controversy? That's sad. Sorry about your brother. So the problem is, and this is my take, so take it with a grain of salt, but people who scream, how can I address you? You just did. People who say TDS are everything Trump supporters say. They don't realize how obvious it's a projection of what they know they're guilty of. Right? So at the end of the day, these folks are all just pushing the stuff that they're scared that you're going to see in them onto you first. So if you disagree or push back, they're going to be like, I said it first, so you just look like you're denying it. That's just how they work. Projection is literally their second language. So in a way, they're just, super hypocritical people. Yeah, it's furious. It makes smart people furious too. Because here's the deal. The reason why it makes us irritated, and I'm going to say that I'm a halfway decently smart person, it's because it's logical to not be illogical. Like, why are you it doesn't make logical sense. And you're just like, why did you just bash your head against the wall? You're just like, leave me alone, like fake news. It's like, dude, you just bashed your head against the wall. I'm trying to understand why you did it. And they start yelling like crazy stuff and they do it again. They bash their head against the wall. And you're like, why do you keep bashing your head against the wall? What is happening? Are you okay? Leave me alone. It's like, okay, dude, I don't know what's happening with you. Those are the people that are like the TDS people. Those are them. Is what we call right wing. They're like trying to cancel what you're saying by yelling these things. They don't have an argument. So they try to bully you with TDS. They try to stop you from saying things. So they don't have to think. Hey, look at that. They don't want to think. They just want to bully you and win. And they think by screaming TDS, they instantly win some argument. And all you're doing is going, you realize that that's not an argument, right? It's kind of like they're so delusional that it's hard to comprehend their delusionalness. Imagine you're on a road trip with one of these people and they're like, they stop at a rest stop and there's no gas station there, but they pretend to put gas in the car. And they're like, hey, I just put gas in the car. I'm like, dude, I watched you. You didn't put gas in the car. You're literally you pulled into a rest stop. There's no gas station here. No, I put gas in the car. It's like, no, you didn't. Fake news. TDS. It's like, and then you run out of gas 10 miles, 20 miles up the road. And you're like, you said you put gas in the car, dude. I watched you not do it. Fake news. It must be a hole in the gas tank. It's got to be something else. It wasn't because of me. It's like a fight against, they know they're wrong. Yeah, it is fear driven, but they know they're wrong for sure. They just don't want to admit it and they want you to forget about it. They're very dysfunctional, avoidant people. They don't want to talk about feelings. They don't want to talk about any of this stuff. And they want you to forget about that they were wrong. They don't ever want to admit they were wrong. They want you to forget about it and move on and act like nothing ever happened. until the next time they were right, so they can then make a big deal out of being right. It's crazy. Love from Australia. What's up, Teresa? Love it. Huge fan of Australia. Never been. Always wanted to go. Haven't gone yet. It is becoming winter there, though, isn't it? Isn't it like fall or something right now? It's like the opposite of the United States. We're barely holding up, Teresa. But you know what? Fighting the good fight. We need some Aussie grit. Aussie's got some grit. Aussie's got some grit. If you guys don't know, Australians they don't mess around. We need groceries. That's funny. That's funny. That's funny, a wee lass. Oh, God. We got another one in the chat. I could say that about the leftist Democrat. You guys are too much. So silly. This is you're a funny, like, I wonder if your friends think you're funny. Not like funny, haha, but like just like funny. You know what I mean? Do you actually think your friends think you're cool? I bet you right now you think you are cool. I don't know. I think it's really interesting when I see these guys pop into the chat. What do you think you're going to gain by leaving that comment? Like, what's going through your head right now? I'm all for it, man, if you want to talk about it, because I'd love to hear what you have to say. But I have a feeling you are struggling right now. When's the last time you talked to your dad? Because Trump isn't your dad. You're never going to know him. He's never going to know your name. You're not special. Sorry to tell you. Sorry to break it to you, little buddy. You're not special, man. I know you think you're some knight fighting some war. You're not. You're just some dude in some red state somewhere. Maybe you're actually in a blue state. I don't really know, but even a comment like that, just thinking that, makes me realize how broken of a person you are. Society has kind of failed you a little bit. Someone told you it was a good idea to not go to school, to not go and learn, to not go and like seek out knowledge. People told you it was just do it. You're just go along to get along, and you went along. You were probably one of those people. There was the golden child of the family, followed all the rules, watched your siblings get punished in front of you. You probably like triggered some of that stuff too. You probably liked it. You were like, oh, look, Dad, Jimmy hit me, after you were antagonizing him. I believe that. You are one of those people. It makes me sad, man. I feel bad for you. You need a hug. I wish your dad would have treated you well, dude. But he clearly didn't. Yes, absolutely, Cameron. Big time. Lots of people left behind. That whole program was probably a sham anyway. Think about it. Like, a lot of people lost their gigs back in like during the internet revolution time period. A lot of things got automated. Coal mines went out of business. Like all those people that work coal mines, all those folks that were working like oil wells that then finally stopped producing. Like all these people, their entire lives, they didn't need to think. They didn't need to learn anything. Like their idea was like, hey, I'm just going to be a coal miner. I'm 3 generations mining coal. I'm 3 generations like helping like get oil out of the ground or whatever the job was, right? A roughneck, whatever they call those people. And then all that stuff dried up. And what, like all they knew was that stuff. And then for some reason, I don't understand the concept of this one, but they didn't want to better their lives. They didn't go, I want to be better than this and go to school and learn how to do X, Y, or Z. I don't want to work in a coal mine, Dad. I want better for myself. So I don't know. I don't understand it because I didn't get things handed to me. I paid my college and my graduate schools and all that stuff myself. No one helped me get that. I don't know why you guys instead didn't do that. But, you know, maybe I think it's your culture. Conservative culture creates very, very weak people. You might be physically strong. You can, you know, dig up coal faster than me. Cool, man. Cool story, bro. You know? So glad. But you are weak when it comes to resilience. You cannot help yourself. You don't want to help yourself. You don't want to do these things. You think people that are smart are nerds. You want to pick on them rather than actually learn from them. Why would you want to do that? Confused. Of course I want to hear a story, Teresa. But it better be a on point story. It's got to be like, it can't be that long. You know what I mean? WTF, you're welcome. Thanks for following me. I appreciate that. Yeah, exactly. MBA went to pastry, dude. You know, school. So here's the thing. Like, you know exactly what I'm talking about, Cameron. Like, going to school just means you're trying to, like, you're striving for something better. You don't have to do, thanks for joining. That was cool. You don't have to do what you went to school for. It's just proof that you follow opportunity. The opportunity was going to get your MBA at the time. That's awesome. I have my MBA as well. Awesome. And business is great. And it also allows you to start your own, you know, being your own cake boss, which is such a cool, like I said, after watching those, I watched like an episode or two on like, TLC, was it? I don't remember if it was TLC. Back in the day, watched a couple of those like great bake-offs and stuff. It's cool, man. Pastry stuff is cool. I think it's really cool, fun, and also very interesting. I wouldn't want to do it, but that doesn't mean it's not a cool gig. And yeah, you don't have to do what your MBA tells you to do. Yeah, exactly. Now you own your own bakery. Did you see? Have you watched the show, The Necessary Conversation with, what's her name? Haley, I think her name is. I don't remember her name. She owns a bakery too in like Dallas, I think. That's pretty cool. I'm not a big, again, I wouldn't be able to do sweets like that. I like to keep my figure, if you know what I mean. The LBs sure pile up after you get like, when you get to be like 103 years old like me. Great talking to you, Jax. I'm glad you feel seen. You should maybe you could have a conversation with your friend and maybe try to convince her. But I doubt it. Yeah, Hive Bakery is flour. Yeah, that's it. Flower Mound? I don't even know what that is. Is that like outside of Dallas? What part of the country are you in? West Coast, East Coast, or South? Jax, what part of the country are you in? You don't have to tell me the state if you don't want to, but I have a feeling I kind of know, though. Missouri? Virginia. Oh, it's very southern. Wait. Confused. She's in Virginia. You're in California. Got it. Florida. What's up? I'm not going to tell you what I think about Florida. But I think you already know. Florida's a tense place to live. Tense. Tense. It's like every Cops episode is filmed in Florida. Oklahoma, nice, dude. That's pretty cool. That's tough, though. That's pretty red. You're surrounded. You're probably right down the street from the Necessary Conversation. The Mary Lou and Bobby there. Orlando. Whew. I've been to Orlando a few times, but only to land at the airport. Missouri. Hardcore. It's hardcore, yo. Missouri is a hardcore red state. Oof. Some crazy shit going on in Missouri. I said outstanding, and my daddy called him. I'm not gonna lie to you, Teresa. Your story got buried. Yeah, I'm gonna end the stream here in a couple minutes too. Really, Rosie, I appreciate your time. It must be tough, dude. I don't know how you do it, Cameron. How do you keep it on the DL? How do you survive with all those people that are like major Trumpers? They didn't have the support to better themselves. Okay, so I'm not sure. So I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right, Sharon Ellis. Maybe you're right. They didn't have support. I don't know. I didn't really have support to better myself either, and I still did. So not saying that everybody has to be like me, but you know, if I could do it, they could do it. Teresa, your story got buried. So whatever we were chatting about, it's gone. Thanks, Ryan. I appreciate that. Thanks, William Corrigan. Thanks for stopping by. Thank you very much, Carrie. You're awesome. Let's go. Okay, you don't keep it quiet. That's, dude, respect. I know a lot of people in red states that are just, man. I don't understand the concept of people in red states like supporting Trump. I don't know what the, like, after the gas prices going up, like all this stuff, and they're still supporting him. I feel like it's just ego now. They're just like, we can't be wrong, so we got to keep supporting him. It's like sunk cost. It's like the sunk cost fallacy, right? You put so much money into something, and you're like, oh, I put $10,000 into this car. I'm not selling it. Yeah, I agree with that, Teresa. Yeah, exactly. I've made videos about that. They actively support people who are trying to actively disenfranchise and hurt them. Sharon, it was great having you in here. Thanks for stopping by. I'm confused about that as well. Yeah, exactly. 30%. They love them because they identify with them. Exactly. They're living vicariously through him. Everybody, they want to be bad, and they're letting him be bad for them. They can't wait, by the way. This is my interpretation. So they can't wait to be turned loose. That's my gut tells me. I was really concerned in 2017 that he was going to let, which is happening right now. He was going to let a bunch of like red state Southerners come and police Los Angeles and San Francisco and let them just drive around doing whatever they want to do, asking people for their papers and stuff like that. I was really concerned he was going to do that, and had no idea whether I was right or not, but I was concerned, and that was 2017. And it kind of feels like it's happening right now. Are you guys gonna run now, or like, I don't know what that means. Run where? I already worked out today. Thank you, the green. I appreciate that. It's awesome. Just joined, so I'm catching up. I left the cult 3 years ago. Thank goodness you did. I was in evangelical churches that gave the message that Trump was anointed. Oh my God. That is crazy. He's clearly not anointed. But man, that's crazy that the churches are saying that. It makes me really uncomfortable. Thanks, why not? All the love. Thanks for watching. It means a lot. Every one of you guys, by the way, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing my content. It means the world to me. Appreciate you guys. So if no one's told you, I care about you. We need more empathy in this world. And that's what authoritarian movements hijack, is your empathy. They want to overwhelm your empathy so that you're just so exhausted all the time that you just give up. That means you can't give up. This is part of your life now. Until this is over, you can't give up. And it's so easy to just like throw on a mindless TV show and forget about it, right? We have our phones, like just, oh, let me just scroll forever and forget about my problems. No, you can't forget about this one. This is the time where you can't. This is not a chance to walk away. So yeah. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. That's not good that they're teaching you in evangelical church this stuff. Yeah. Oh my God. It's the same mentality. It's so true. Colleen, good analogy. Same mentality. If you find out you have a friend or family member who gets arrested for doing really bad stuff, some people just don't want to believe it, no matter how much proof there is. Yes, I agree. It's very much like that. Yeah, Eric, they're definitely doing that because sunk cost fallacy. They can't be wrong. These folks have never been able to admit they were wrong in their lives, way before Trump. They could never admit they were wrong, ever. So anybody that supports Trump right now, literally think back. Just think of one time they ever were like, oh, you know what? I was wrong. My bad. Or, you know what? I was wrong. I apologize. Never will you ever be able to tie back one of these folks to someone who could admit they were wrong ever. Now they'll say, oh, I'm wrong 100 times a day. I'm like, okay, cool. What have you been wrong about recently? Oh, no. They'll never have an answer for you. Nothing wrong about real things. They're only wrong about something like, I drank a bottle of water that was old and it tasted bad. So I was wrong about that. Something that it doesn't matter. Yeah, and they're going to parrot the gas prices because that's the talking point. These folks are literally they don't want to think. They've outsourced their critical thinking for comfort. Yeah. Tatch a girl. That's what I've noticed with these folks is I've never met one that could ever admit they were wrong. Professionally, in personal life, anywhere. And then they then became Trump supporters. So I was just like, wait, all these people that can't be wrong ever, all of a sudden now follow Trump. I was just like, that's a strange pattern. So I started doing research, and it's like, dude, that's just common narcissistic traits. So we use the term narcissism way too much in our our lives. It's like pop psychology, because everybody's like, oh, he's a narcissist because he's mean to me. No. But there are a lot more people in this world that have high narcissistic traits. They don't fall into NPD, or narcissistic personality disorder, but they do have like really high narcissistic traits. Because they don't fit into the box, we don't classify these people. They don't go get help either. So we don't really know the number of crazy people. We call them crazy, sorry. Mentally challenged people that are out there that are sadistic, that are high narcissistic, that are high Machiavellian problems, that are psychopaths, like full-on psychopaths, or they have psychopathic tendencies. Like, you don't have to be a full-on psychopath. Like, imagine how much work that would take. Why would anybody even want to be classified as a psychopath? The only time we ever like classify people that way is because they did something wrong. So then we have all the time in the world to like analyze these people. But if they don't do anything wrong, like you don't get them in trouble or anything, what's the incentive for them to go get checked out psychologically, right? They just don't. So most people don't. So there's like a lot of really messed up people. And everybody's like, oh, you know, it's really rare to have like narcissists only make up like, I think the number was like between 1 and like, is a pretty big, by the way, it's a pretty big gap. It's like between 1 and 6%. It's pretty high. It's like, you know, it's either 10% or 50%. It's pretty wild deviation there. So, but between 1 and 6% like are literally full on narcissistic personality disordered people. Imagine all of the people that are not fully in the box, but have sadistic traits. It's a lot of people. It's about how many people voted, like, are supporting Trump right now. It's like 20 to 35 million people. It totally makes sense. There's a lot of people out there that, you know, are antisocial. And I don't mean like, oh, they don't want to go out and hang out with people. No, these are people that are around that cannot handle interactions with people. They will be violent. They don't know how to like communicate. They think if you say something to them the wrong way, they will respond with physical violence. And you're like, wait, what? I said hello. And you're being violent. Like, what the hell? I am not religious. Are you asking me, Teresa? I'm a recovering Catholic. I used to go to church a lot when I was a kid. Way too much. I went to a Catholic school and then went to church every Sunday. Never missed a Sunday. Couldn't miss a Sunday. So I went to church like 6 days a week for from when I was like 6 or 7 till I was like 15 or 16. So I went to a lot of church. And then I was given the choice to be religious or not. And I don't know why I got the choice, but I got the choice. And yeah, I decided not a chance. Yeah, I was Catholic school also. Still have my Catholic school tie. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Catholicism either. I think religion's all used to control people. What? Life in the solar system, I completely understand. I really don't. Oh, you're somebody's name. I'm like, what are you talking about, solar system? What's going on over in my YouTube area now? Let me look. I just saw that Trump had a statue of himself. Yep, 22 foot. Was it at Mar-a-Lago? I don't think it was Mar-a-Lago. I think it was his Miami golf course. A 22-foot gold statue. That actually is true. He knows the people he has as followers need someone. They want somebody to worship. These people want someone to worship. Thank you for Thank you over here. I see a $10 from Sophia from Iowa. Let me look at the YouTube thing over here to read it. Many of the MAGA cult members suffer from Stockholm Syndrome. So, yes and no. So, what do you mean by Stockholm Syndrome? So, I know what it means because you start to relate and defend your like captors as like if you were a hostage. I don't think that's the case in this case. I think it's more of like the sunk cost of shame. But I agree, there is a narcissistic cycle going on here where Trump will give his followers a little bit of meat. I call it meat, sorry. Bread, whatever you want to call it, bread and circus. He gives them a little bit of taste of something and gets them all riled up, brings it back, forgets about them. And it's love bombing, right? At the end of the day, he does this love bombing thing, which is it's a narcissistic family cycle that these people are used to, that they used to live into. Be the voice. What's up? Be the voice. They live in they come from a narcissistic family dynamic where the father was like an authoritarian who like powered through and said, if you don't ask questions, do what I say. And they're used to that. They're used to that chaos. So they want somebody to make decisions for them. Decisions are hard for them. They also, they went along, they were the go along to get along people in the family. There is not a Trump supporter in this chat or anywhere on the planet that was a black sheep of the family. Black sheeps are the people who didn't go along to get along, who asked questions. Those people would never be the golden children, the people who would follow a Trump, because these people are repeating what they did in childhood. They had a father that was very dominant, that was like, my way or the highway, and would not allow anybody to question the authority or or have any kind of opinion that was questioning the father that was in charge. And it could be a mother too, by the way. It could be a father or mother. Usually a father, though, right? Usually he rules by like fear and stuff like that. And they connect back up with someone like him. He has simple answers for very complex problems. Like, who wouldn't want that, right? It's kind of intoxicating to go, wow, this problem is advanced, but this guy he can fix it. I get it, right? I can see why if someone had an easy answer to something that seems really complex, it seems interesting, right? People want it, but there are also people that don't want it, like me. I don't want that. Like, I don't need you lying to me. I can think for myself. And people who were black sheep in their family, it's like a guarantee you are not going to be a Trump supporter because you went against the authoritarian in the family. That's my take. I don't know about Stockholm Syndrome, though. I guess it is. I guess, I kind of made that argument yesterday, actually. I was like, this sounds like Stockholm Syndrome, but it's not. And I was corrected. And I think that person was right. It's not Stockholm Syndrome. It's more of a, what is it? They become, it's not that they defend their captor. They become their captor. They become the abuser, right? They are being abused. They become the abuser. I think that's the difference. Stockholm Syndrome is you relate and you defend the person you're with. And I know where Stockholm Syndrome came from. Like it was kind of like invented for that girl who started like robbing banks. Can't remember her name right now, but that was the defense they used. I don't think it worked, by the way. But the defense they used was to get that very wealthy woman out of trouble because she was robbing banks with a bunch of people. And They invented Stockholm Syndrome. Or they used it. Yeah, Patty Hearst. Thank you. Thank you. You guys are way smarter than me. Whew. Patty Hearst, that's it. And I don't know if it worked, but yeah, exactly. That's the classic identification with the abuser. Exactly. Identifying with the abuser. Now, the other one is, I can't remember the term. Let me look it up real quick. I have it because I have a script about this I was going to do a video on. Give me 2 seconds here. But there is a term for this because Trump became this. His father was an abuser. He was a very abusive, destructive man. And he abused his older son named Freddie so badly that he drank himself to death. He actually had empathy and all that stuff, and his father destroyed him every single day, destroyed this guy, and did it in front of Donald Trump. And Donald had a choice, either become my father or be the next target of my father. And he chose to be his father. It's a identification with the aggressor is the phrase, which sounds so boring, right? But it's identification with the aggressor is the clinical term for it. But it does fall into, the abuser. It's basically identification with the abuser / the aggressor. Same thing. Yep. In this case, wow, you definitely knew the term already than I did. Good job. Yeah, Stockholm Syndrome was before Patty Hearst. You're right. I think they just used it. They were like the first ones to use it like to a really great degree to try to get her out of trouble. I don't even know if she got in trouble. Did she actually end up getting out of trouble with that? Did Patty Hearst get out of trouble with Stockholm Syndrome defense? Stockholm Syndrome defense. Did not immediately get out of trouble using Stockholm Syndrome defense. She was convicted of bank robbery, sentenced to 7 years. She served only 21 months. And then she became president. Oh, go figure. I was kidding. Sorry. Yeah, crazy. She did not get out of trouble, but she didn't serve even 2 years. Guess that's a good thing. I don't know enough about her to make any claims on her, but if she's robbing banks, can't really say I was just following orders. You know what I'm saying? Michael Douglas near the end where he does a monologue of how people win elections by blaming others for their lot in life. Sounds like Trump. I totally agree. The thing is, like, it was never weaponized the way people actually cared about being scholarly, I guess you could say, being an intellectual. The people who ran for president or could have become president before Trump, if you really think about those folks, these were people with like law degrees, business degrees, like legitimate business degrees, not just some undergraduate degree, but like advanced degrees, right? Master's degrees, stuff like that. These guys and these women and men were not some just like schlups off the street, if you know what I mean. Like these were good people, like people that, not all of them obviously, but a lot of the people that run for president are not, they're pretty highly educated. But before Trump, like I didn't really worry about any of the people that ran for president. I was like, either one wins, I don't have to worry that they're going to just fly off the handle and do some unhinged thing. And then Trump turned it into WWE wrestling. I never liked Trump before. I've always disliked him. He always seemed like a fake billionaire to me. He always seemed like a fake to me. And I know his story. Like he lost all of his money. He was worth next to nothing in the early 90s, I believe. It was either the really late 80s or the early 90s. But he lost basically all of his money. And I remember he even was on video saying, like, admitting he was broke to his daughter. Like, hey, that guy right there on the street over there is worth as much as is worth probably worth more than me. And I was like, fake. Like he lost all of his money. Think about that. How long ago that was. Like he literally was worth. That's why his tax returns were the way they were. He could take losses forever because he lost like a lot of. It was a lot of money. It was like $900 million or something. He lost. He had a tax write-off for, so he could just claim that write-off over years and never pay taxes because of that. Yeah, Colleen, he at one point was really, really broke. He had no money before the Apprentice. Also, he was running out of money. You should watch some of there's some content on YouTube to watch about how he was conscripted into being on The Apprentice, and they came to his office and it was like a disheveled mess, and the building wasn't doing well, and he wasn't doing well, and he's a ultimate fake it till you make it kind of guy. And yeah, if it wasn't for The Apprentice, he would have been probably not in a good spot right now financially. So, yeah, I wouldn't. Here's the thing, P.T. Barnum, like we knew who he was though. He never tried to be like president. He never tried to like do something complex. He was just a carnival barker. Like he made a lot of money for sure. He was really good at talking. He was like the old days, like these people that are good at talking, like Rush Limbaugh, or even though he's a horrible person, Rush Limbaugh was like a horrible person. These guys are really talented at persuasion and talking. Like again, I used to be a fan of Howard Stern back in the day. Like he's very persuasive, entertaining guy to listen to. At least he was. And there are a lot of P.T. Barnums out there. But none that are narcissistic personality disorder. And then there's a difference between narcissistic. The thing is, we've softened the word narcissist so much that no one cares what it means anymore. But he like there's a huge difference between someone that's like narcissistic and has NPD and then has malignant narcissism. These things are drastically different things. I'm making a video about just the difference between someone with narcissistic personality disorder and malignant narcissism, because malignant might as well be a psychopath, like a bad one too. Malignant narcissists like to see people suffer. They're sadists. They want that in their lives. Where a person with narcissistic personality disorder isn't guaranteed to be a sadist, horrible person. They're bad, but they're not this person who thrives to hurt people. Like malignant, I didn't even know the difference, by the way. Literally, it was like maybe 48 hours ago. I thought they were the same thing. I was just like, yeah. But when I looked it up, I didn't think it was that bad. And malignant narcissist means just an awful person. Someone who, I think the malignant narcissism came from, I think that term first came from the guy who was in charge of Germany in the 30s and 40s. I can't say his name. They diagnosed him first. They had to come up with some psychological reason he existed and like what he was. I think he was the first ever diagnosed malignant narcissist. And you see, just from learning who that guy was, he did a lot of damage. 85 million people in World War II gone because of him. Dangerous people. Malignant narcissism is crazy. Malignant narcissism is so much worse. Essentially, all of the real world and truth is your enemy as a, I don't know what that means. It's a little broken English there, dude. Um, I've never been Trumper since I read Art of the Deal when I was in my teens. It was obvious. At best, he's an idiot who just wants attention. Yeah, of course. He didn't even write the book, dude. Like someone else wrote the book. He just sat there and goes, well, let me tell you about this. And I'm sure the dude actually who wrote the book probably came up with most of it from other books and just was like, hey, we'll just like attribute this to you too. What do you think of this? And he was like, yeah, I like that too. Put that in the book. He just paid some guy to ghostwrite his book for him. And then, yeah. That's carnival. That is very carnival barkery. But the thing is, like, we have to, every time we put a label on him, because he's a clown, don't get me wrong. But the problem is, he's a malignant narcissist. And he's backed into a corner. And the last malignant narcissist that was in power that I can think of was in Germany. That was diagnosed. And that's not good. And people are like, oh, why are you comparing the two people? Why do you compare the regime of today to Germany in the 30s? Well, I don't know. Maybe because every single box is checked. That's why. I wish it wasn't. Yes, he does get off on violence. He does. That's the malignant narcissism. He wants to see people suffer. He enjoys it. It's food for him. He can't wait. He wants to see it. He feeds off of people's pain. He admitted to hooking up with other dudes' wives just so he could humiliate them. That is a strange kind of, I can't wait to laugh in your face about me doing something like this. And I don't know. That's a different kind of person right there. I cannot wait to, just not cool, dude. Like, oh, I didn't like this guy, so I'm going to hook up with his wife and then rub it in his face. It's like, what? Like, that's, I don't know if that's how that works. Yeah, anyway. I'm the kind of person that's like, if you want to get even with someone, what you do is don't be like them. It's pretty easy. Yeah, World War II is definitely fascinating. No ethics, no morals, or empathy. Yeah, well, no, you can't. So he's just so you know, like narcissistic, malignant narcissist is basically a psychopath. So he doesn't have any morals or ethics. He doesn't even know what that means. He doesn't even know what empathy is. The empathy switch in his head was turned off by his father. I'm not blaming everything on his father, but I mean, it really was his father. He destroyed his older brother every single day in front of Trump. His brother got destroyed at the dinner table and the breakfast table and whenever they hung out, over and over every day. And imagine your dad just harassing you to the point where you apologize for what he thinks you did, and then he makes fun of you for apologizing, and then calls you weak and calls you a loser every single day in front of your brother, and your brother starts saying it too. That was Donald Trump. He goes, I either defend my brother and become a target, or I become the abuser. He became the abuser. And that's who he is. He doesn't even know the difference of, like, he doesn't even know what not abusing people is. That's why he has no friends. Like, this guy, literally, think about it. Think of someone who thinks like Trump's an actual friend. And that whoever that person is, by the way, I did hear someone say that recently. Dana White goes, he's a really good friend of mine. I'm like, boy, do you not know who you're dealing with, dude? Like, you can't be friends with that kind of a person. Like he sees you as an opportunity. He doesn't see you as an ally. He just goes, oh, cool. Instead of $10 in my pocket, I have $20 in my pocket. He doesn't see people as people. Yes. He has done that before, Chris. Pushing people. Do you remember that? I think it was during summits in his first tenure in office. Wasn't he pushing like world leaders around? Like, get out of my, like he would push through world leaders. Yeah, I remember that well. Trust me, I was like, what the hell's going on here? Like, how does he not know to not push other people in general, just people on top of which world leaders? Like, what are you doing, dude? like, who are you? Who would do something like this? Yes. By the way, Joseph, coming from YouTube over here, yes. He is an I give him a little bit of credit. He iterates off of people. He bounces his stuff. He uses people to test messages and stuff. And that's something you do in the startup and tech world, by the way. You iterate really, really quickly in messages and marketing and all sorts of stuff, like fast to see like, oh, okay, this. Oh, this works. Perfect. Okay, good. But he does it maliciously. He gins up the crowd to see. I always attribute it to bread and circus and the Colosseum in Rome, where they would get these people all like riled up, and then they would have gladiators like duel to the end, and they would have criminals in the Colosseum, and they would let wild animals attack them and stuff, like bread and circus. And the guys who did that stuff, who was in charge of the Colosseum, I think basically built it. I think it was built under Nero. Maybe it was started under Augustus, but it was finished under Nero. Nero was the one who actually used it a lot, and Commodus and Nero. I don't know. I'm a little foggy on the history right now, but these guys, it's the same thing. His audience is the mob. The thing is about the mob is like you can never fully control a mob, because eventually the mob comes for you. If you guys know anything about history, like the French Revolution, it was called the French Terror. And the guy who was leading the revolutionists, his name was Robespierre. I don't know if you guys know history or not. I'm a fanatic for history. So Robespierre was one of the revolutionaries. And eventually they were like going off and like offing people like crazy. That's why they called it the terror. They're like, you're accused, you're out. You're accused, you're out. Like, it was bad. And Robespierre was like, I think the last guy who was ginning up the revolution in the first place, he was taken out by his own mob. They were like, okay, this is over and you're going with it. And that was the end. That is what happens when you would gin up a mob. The mob eventually comes for you. But I don't know in this case. This might be a different kind of mob, because these are like religious zealot type mobbish type people. I don't know. But I think it's a bad idea to lead mobs. Whether that be on the internet, whether that be off the internet, it doesn't really matter. Mobs are mobs, and you can't control them. They'll eventually come for you. Anyway, I should probably go. I have gone an hour and 15 minutes over, but it's been great chatting with you guys. And I will do this again if you guys want me to do it again. I'll have some people on next time too. Yeah, he's following the dictator steps. Yep, for sure. Mustang Spangy. Yep, absolutely. Glad to be here. He's not going to take us all down, David. We have a choice. We have a choice. We have the power. They do not. Might not sound like it. Might not feel like it, but we do. They are scared to death of people. They just think that we won't do anything. So do we want to prove them right? Or do we want to prove them wrong? Thank you, Health and Happiness. All right, guys. Let's prove them wrong. Yes, and I will definitely do it again. Thanks, guys. I'll be back probably next weekend then. Maybe sooner. DM me. Let me know. All right, guys. I'll see you later. It was great chatting with everybody.